weekend of a Friday night. Jay Binkley with my good man JT Noah producing the operation. What's going on, JT Noah?
How we doing, Bink?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Beautiful
How about you,
weather
my friend?
out there. Feels nice finally out there for once. No snow, no freezing cold below 20. I mean,
No, it feels good. It was in the 60s yesterday. It barely got in the 60s, but it was in the 60s.
I mean,
It's been
60s
the
feel like
50s
100
today.
with what we've
I
been
know.
with. So,
You can't complain about this. It's been great.
oh yeah,
but a great winter.
Yeah, great winter.
I mean, for the most part. I mean, it's been,
I
it's
wouldn't
been
say
great.
great winter. I would say when you got that storm last week or a week
Yeah,
before.
but we didn't get anything near what some people
That's what I'm
got.
saying.
Yeah.
We got the lighter part of no ice. It was just the snow. I would rather have snow than ice any day of the week.
It wasn't even really the packable snow. Is that, you can real loose snow. But down south, they got all that ice, like at Nashville, throughout Tennessee, Mississippi, you
I'm going to
name
say,
it.
Ole Miss, the university's been closed for the last 2 weeks. They're hoping to open back up on Monday. I mean, they had to move all their basketball games. What they did with the college basketball games for I know the men's side is they flipped them. So they were playing Vanderbilt and I think Texas, and they were supposed to be both at home during the time that they had no power. They just switched them to being away games. So Ole Miss's basketball teams had 5 straight road games.
And I think 40 states, something like that, was affected by that. But you've had 2 snowstorms. You had that one in December, and you had that one there. It's really I don't know if you shoveled the first time or not, but really one shovelable snow at this point. So can't complain on that when you're sitting there in February. Now, I'm not one of these people say that they call it, don't be fooled by spring. Don't be fooled to think spring is here already.
Yeah, the gopher said, or whatever, the hedgehog, what's he called? The groundhog, whatever he's called, said he saw a shadow or whatnot. So you got 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, whatever he is. What is he, a groundhog?
Groundhog.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you believe in
They've
that
been
thing?
doing that for years, man. I mean, I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but it's.
Do you believe in him?
The Phil?
Yeah.
The groundhog? I mean, I don't know. I mean, sure. I mean, pretty much have 6 more weeks of winter anyway, don't we? Whether he sees the shadow or not.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah, so I don't know how much to go about the groundhog. You ever see that movie Groundhog Day?
no. Never seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a movie.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Oh, okay.
It's classic, before your time, but
Before my time, probably is right.
it's pretty fun to go watch it. So to celebrate Groundhog's Day. But great sports weekend, my friend. We have the Olympic ceremony on, the opening ceremony, even though if you watched it during the afternoon, you could. They were still showing it on NBC, and they'll be showing it tonight. They have the Olympics in primetime. USA Today or USA Network is showing it a bunch too. Peacock's got it a bunch too. So Olympics for the next couple of weeks. So you have that. You've got the Super Bowl Sunday. This, my friend, is a good sports weekend, a very good sports weekend because we have the Combine later this month. We have legal tampering, and we have free agency next month. The month after, you get the NFL draft. And, oh, by the way, you got spring training with Major League Baseball going on here for a couple weeks before the WBC guys leave. The Royals have 7 guys playing for various teams in the WBC. So they'll be leaving. Vern goes down Monday. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Vern goes down Monday. That's the official sign of spring when Vern goes to spring training.
Yeah, that's when you know spring.
Now, that's a real groundhog.
That's a real time to get rowdy because that's
and
when
Vern
the
saw
real
a
stuff.
shadow. Vern saw a shadow.
Oh, Vern saw a shadow.
He did.
He hasn't seen hair though in a while. That's okay.
No, it's a good point by you. But when Vern sees a shadow, it means we got 7 more weeks.
Okay, all right.
So,
Do you are you a fan of cold weather baseball games?
Define cold. I mean, usually baseball's. I love cold weather.
Well, I remember like the opening day a couple years ago. It was like 32 degrees for opening day at the K. It was a cold, brutal day.
I've been out the K before when it was 24 degrees.
24?
It was 24 degrees, and it was Ohtani was pitching back then for the Angels. It was his first time coming to Kansas City. There's all sorts of, people here from the National League to watch Ohtani pitch. But the weather was 24 degrees. It was on a Sunday. It was 24 degrees, and they bagged the game.
I'm about to say, welcome to the
It was
Kansas
supposed
City
to
weather,
snow and
Ohtani.
drizzle and all that kind of stuff. But it was, I think, too cold for him to play. But, yes, it was a welcome to Kansas City, Shohei. But that sucks, though, because we're going to see Ohtani, see what all was up with that when he was with the Angels, pitch in Kansas City, but they bagged the game. And there's been snow in May before when the Royals played the who did they play? They were playing the Rays. It was back in, 13, 14, something like that when we had snow in May. against the Tampa Bay
I was
Rays.
going to say, a couple times
You never know what's going to happen.
couple times last year or the year before, Colorado was at home and there was snow on the ground and they had to cancel the game because they're like, there's too much snow, we can't play. And so I was like, man, that's crazy. Why don't they just make sure those teams like the Rockies, the Royals, the Twins, they play down south early on in the season? Why have them up north so often?
Well, there's definitely some cold weather games for a lot of guys when you get to first couple months, about the first month of Major League Baseball, when teams are playing up in Detroit or in Chicago, hell, even Kansas City to some extent at different times. So it can be that way here. It can be that way here. But I digress, my friend. We have NFL draft to get into, of course. We'll be talking about that. That's a hot topic in Kansas City. The Super Bowl will finally be played. It'll be played on Sunday. This doesn't feel like it's been dragging on as long as typically they do because you just can't wait for the game to start. I can't wait for the game to start, but it's not because you've been overhyped or overstimulated with all the action going on at the Super Bowl. It's been kind of a boring one. And I thought it may be because we're in Kansas City, JT. I thought maybe we're in Kansas City and you're used to the Chiefs being in it. Well, they're not in it, so you're not as interested in it. But that's what they're saying nationally. It's not just the people in Kansas City. It's everywhere else saying, we're not as interested in it this year.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help. I feel like all of the attention isn't even on this year's Patriots team. It's on past year Patriots teams, whether that be because of the Hall of Fame snub for Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft. And then also they want to compare this team to how, the last time the Seahawks and Patriots met in the Super Bowl, you know what happened? The Malcolm Butler interception. And so I feel like all the attention's not even on this year's Patriots team. It's on years past Patriots team.
There's been a lot of that, with Will Fork talking, and of course what's going on with Asante Samuel and Tom Brady and all that. It's been this jealousy with the former Patriot players, and are they jealous of the new wave? Because, in the back of their mind, there's something about that. Athletes do like being the last team to win, right? Remember the 85 Royals? You probably saw some of the interviews. George Brett and Buddy Biancalana and Willie Wilson, they kept doing interviews. They'd talk about that 85 team. Well, now we've transitioned, moved on. Now it's about talking about the 2015 World Champions Royals, and you talk about them. I always wondered, too, and I brought it up with Alex yesterday when I was sitting with him. Remember when Bo Nix and the Broncos played the Bills, or not the Bills this year, the Patriots in the title game, AFC title game, and Bo Nix was up in the press box? You had to wonder, like in the back of his mind, was he pulling for Jarrett Stidham or not? Now, he was doing all the right things, and cheering, when they scored and everything. But the back of his mind is he like, dude, I played with this team the whole year, all last year. I got them to this point, and now someone's riding my coattails, riding my gravy chain, and maybe taking this team to the Super Bowl. Now, as a human, you would think, because I always wondered that, do backups kind of root for the guy that took their job? Or like deep down, they say, no, this guy's going to take my job? Because we saw it with Austin Simmons, the new Missouri quarterback. He thought he was getting his job back, but Trinidad Chambliss took that. Now he's at the University of Missouri, Austin Simmons. We've seen that. Bledsoe took over Tom Brady. You don't always get your job back. You can be Wally Pipp.
Well, think about
not that I expect that to happen with Bo Nix. That's not going to happen at all.
The big one in the NFL is also that people forget. What about Justin Herbert, the Tyrod Taylor incident, where the doctor was the one that caused Tyrod Taylor to be out, and Justin Herbert went in and shined and never gave up the rounds. So I don't think Bo Nix was worried about that. He was obviously rooting for Denver to win.
But deep down that head, they bother you a little bit that you've carried this team all year, and then all of a sudden the backup is getting the shine.
Was how his coach was handling his interviews and press conferences about Bo Nix's injuries. I don't think he was too worried about Jarrett Stidham, but the way Sean Payton was handling everything, I think that's what rubbed Bo Nix the wrong way more than anything.
Oh, it was humorous watching NFL Network that morning. And even ESPN when they were talking about Jarrett Stidham, because he did have that one nice pass. He had one nice pass. But other than that, he didn't do much. I know that weather got pretty bad too. But it's not like he was great when the weather wasn't real bad.
Drake May wasn't great either. I mean, you could say both quarterbacks did not look like they were NFL caliber
but they were building him up, my friend. They were building him up like the next best thing. Oh, this guy's just waiting for his opportunity. He's a backup for a reason.
Well, I'll tell you
He's a backup in the NFL for a reason. Let's not get crazy here in NFL Network. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, I got to turn the channel.
The only quarterback that I thought that was a backup this year that will maybe be a starter next year was Malik Willis.
He will be. He'll be one of the hot names.
That's what I'm saying. Like, other than that, I don't think there was any backup that you were like, I think I could see him being a starter next year. Malik Willis, if it wasn't because of Jordan Love and a contract, there might have been a QB battle there. But fear not, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Malik Willis is going to go somewhere and be a starter for that team. But other than that, there was no other backup quarterback that I saw play this year that you were like, yeah, I could see him being a starter next year in the NFL.
You know, there's not a whole bunch of quarterbacks on the free agent market. Like, I was always thinking, like, who's going to be the next Sam Darnold? Because you know teams are thinking of that. Because look what Sam did. Minnesota didn't want, even though a lot of the players like Justin Jefferson's talking about what we should have worked something out with Sam Darnold. They didn't, and he became a free agent. We all know towards the end of the year, at the very end, he melted down, and he melted down in the postseason. That's why they didn't advance. And then he got his chance in Seattle, and he's played well. He's played really well. But our team's going to buy into that and think, we can go out and get the next Sam Darnold. What I mean by that is trading San Francisco for Mac Jones, because he's got one more year in San Francisco. Remember when they put him in, they were still winning. They went with Purdy, but then they put Mac Jones in, and they still kept winning. Is some team going to think, are they going to buy the snake oil and say, here's San Francisco, we want Mac Jones, because there's a limitation of quarterbacks in free agency this year, plus the draft is not really yearning you different quarterbacks as well. That's the following year, because this year's quarterback class is lean. I don't look at a lot of these guys and say, that's a game changer. That's a franchise quarterback. So our team's going to buy in and say, hey, what do you want for Mac Jones? People are going to buy into it.
Okay, my question then to that is, what teams are in the need for a starting quarterback? We know the Raiders are. The Jets.
Pittsburgh is. We'll see what they do if they go Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you what, I think Pittsburgh, because the draft, is in Pittsburgh this year.
Yeah.
They're thinking over 700,000 people there. Mm-hmm. They've got 12 picks.
Right.
And this was going to be the year for them to get their franchise quarterback, right? Well, don't think that's going to happen, because the Raiders are getting really the best of the best in Mendoza.
And
if you want to buy into Mendoza.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think Mendoza is an NFL quarterback?
I do. I mean, he's got the maturity and the intangibles. We'll see. We'll see if he can build out. He seems to be pretty mature at what he does, and he can handle different situations. He surely handled everything that Indiana threw at him. And I will say this. I remember Chris Nocero, I do character concerns with. We wanted to see what he could do instead of being up by 30 or 40. This is what Indiana did a lot this year, because their defense, people didn't realize their defense was very good. And I remember that national title game. Everybody's like, oh, it's Indiana's offense versus Miami's defense. I was like, let's not go so fast here. Indiana's defense is rated better than Miami in almost every category. Let's not get crazy. But they were winning because of their defense as well. But then that Penn State game where he had to drive down and he had to score the touchdown, and he did it. Like, he proved that he could do it. So I don't know. Tom Brady's going to eat it up, though. Tom Brady's going to eat it up because that intangible, and then he did that dive into the touchdown on his feet, and he's going to buy into it that the kid just knows how to win. And it's hard to argue that. I mean, he had some good games at Cal.
Yeah, he had some really good games at Cal. But I'm thinking, like, the only two other teams that come to my mind immediately that will need a quarterback next year is the Jets and Arizona. And does Arizona even, I guess, say they need a quarterback because they have Kyler Murray, who is still under contract?
Well, they for sure need one. Got a new head coach going in there. Kyler Murray, they're probably going to go with that, still contract. They might end up doing that.
So then they could draft a quarterback maybe in the second round.
And keep this in mind, too. Dylan Gabriel that's sitting there with Cleveland, because remember they drafted Dylan Gabriel before they did Shedeur Sanders, and it looks like they're going to go forward with Shedeur Sanders. Deshaun Watson, by the way, will be coming back, and he'll be ready to play for Cleveland, but makes Dylan Gabriel completely expendable. Well, we'll see what he does. But he's not being silly. He wants that money. Well, he's like, I'll stay here until you kick me out.
Well, yeah,
and when you kick me out, you got to pay me. So
exactly.
So that's what he's doing. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But regardless, there was something funny that happened last night in the NFL world. I'll tell you what that is next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for over 45 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or LewisburgFord.com.
Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 965. That's code 965 to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Tonight, expect a low of 27 with mostly clear skies.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Wake up with Fesco and Dusty from 6 to 10. Hang out with Cody and Gold from 10 until 2. And on your way home, tune in for The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Can't listen in the car? Listen live or on demand with the Odyssey app. And watch all the shows on YouTube or your favorite social media platforms. Your home for Chiefs football. Your home for Royals baseball. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, JT Noah. Someone was asking me about Sam Hecht, local product who from Mill Valley with the Kansas State. Yeah, nice Senior Bowl for the center. Probably be a third-round pick. Could see him play in the NFL for at least a decade or longer. Our phone number, 913-586-7965. That's 913-586-7965. That's also the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. 913 asked me, what happens to Tua next year? Great question. We don't know. But again, this is a star of league for quarterbacks. Is he more on the Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield path? I don't know. Could he catch lightning in a bottle with another team like Sam Darnold clearly did because he was seeing ghost when he was with the New York Jets? I mean, he could have that. I mean, it is kind of an asterisk by Sam Darnold because not everybody's like that gets that other chance and opportunity, and all of a sudden they're a stud. We just haven't seen that as often. Sam Darnold was kind of an outlier. I mean, Marcus Mariota, people tried to make him better. Kirk Cousins wasn't so good when he left Minnesota. So we'll see what happens. Tua's not technically a free agent. He's signed through 2028. He's got his base salary next year, $25 million, jumps to $39 million in 26. So a potential out after this season, but he's got to play this season. So potential out would be 2027. He's actually signed through 2028, but there is that potential out. But Daniel Jones, he's an interesting one, JT. We talked a lot of Daniel Jones this year, right? He was on that trajectory to get that money, right? He was going to be that Sam Darnold for the Colts. He was the Sam Darnold project in the AFC, a guy that didn't work out for the Giants. He was off to a great start in Indianapolis. National media was flying in, interviewing Daniel Jones. And then what do? He started throwing interceptions and fumbling the football because he had 7 turnovers before he played the Chiefs. Of course, he gets hurt with Achilles, doesn't play the rest of the year. However, Indy would have paid him because you know why? Indy made the decision when they traded Sauce Gardner and gave up all that draft equity for Sauce. They made a decision, we found our franchise quarterback. Because they don't make that move for Sauce Gardner if they don't feel they had their franchise quarterback. So Indianapolis kind of has egg on the face because they sold out for Daniel Jones, and Sauce wasn't that great.
Well, I think Daniel Jones is going to be fine with them. I mean, we're talking about Daniel Jones the same
Well, he's going to have to be.
Well,
if he comes back.
We're talking about the same. We're talking about Daniel Jones the same way we talked about Sam Darnold last year, and guess what? Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl this year, so I think they were looking at it like, okay, well, Minnesota let Sam Darnold walk, and look what he's doing in Seattle. We can't let someone that comes in our building, does great, and then, sure, he tails off at the end of the season, but we can't let that take our direction away from what he's doing.
But here was the only problem with it. Like, if you watch the games, he was a turnover machine. Like, he was doing that. They were winning despite that. Yeah, he was having a bit of a resurrection in Indy, but they had an incredibly weak schedule. People talk about the Patriots' schedule being weak. He didn't beat anybody. And then he had his chance in Kansas City, in that second half, peed down his leg. They traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, a 26 and a 2027 first-round picks. So that says to me, yeah, he's going to be a free agent now, but it shows me they want him. And, you don't make this move if you're not bought into Daniel Jones.
And
they're buying what he's selling.
Right, and I would too, because the reason I don't totally agree with you that he peed down his leg in Kansas City, because I didn't think that game was on Daniel Jones more than it was on coaching.
Dude, they had 17 second-half yards.
That's the point.
What do you call that?
That's on coaching, because you didn't run the football.
That hurt, but then again, he didn't do anything either.
Why are you throwing the ball 90% of the time when you have the best running back in the game?
He wasn't very good. He wasn't.
Who?
Daniel Jones, because they relied on him.
Well, right, I'm saying,
they said, we want you to win this game, not Jonathan Taylor.
They didn't need to, because they were in the lead, is what I'm saying. You should have run the ball when you're up in the game.
I agree. Their usage of Jonathan Taylor doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
with you
saying.
on that.
That's what I'm saying on that part. Like, I get you can say, oh, Daniel Jones threw the game, but I also thought you could put more, or you could put as much or more blame on the coaching staff, because they decided to keep throwing the football when they were up in the game and let the Chiefs hang around. And when you let KC hang around, they're going to find a way to win the game when they have Patrick Mahomes under center.
But I've never been a Daniel Jones guy.
I know.
Throughout this whole season,
right.
I was like, I think people are buying into this guy, and I don't think they're watching what he's doing. I think they're watching highlights, and they're not actually watching the games and seeing how many fumbles he has and how many interceptions he throws. I totally felt that with Daniel Jones. I think a lot of people looked at highlights or read the recap instead of watch the game.
I think the Colts were in that situation where they didn't want to be the Minnesota Vikings, right? Where, hey, we let the guy walk out of the building. Now, to me, the difference in this is Minnesota let Sam Darnold walk because they drafted J.J. McCarthy. They had McCarthy, and they thought McCarthy was going to be something.
And his teammates don't seem to buy into him,
No,
and that's a real
right.
problem.
And the Colts don't have a backup quarterback. So they brought Phillip Rivers in for crying out loud to be their quarterback. So I think they bought into Daniel Jones. I think they were like, you know what? We can work with Daniel Jones. We can.
Well, Riley Leonard showed him some at the end, and people were wondering why wasn't Riley Leonard starting, because they did draft him this year.
Exactly.
Why they didn't start him more, and why they decided to start old man Phillip Rivers.
Old man Phillip. I feel like they did. To be honest, I think they did Phillip Rivers because it was a publicity stunt and to get in people to watch their games down the stretch, even though they knew they were going to be in the playoffs. That's my opinion. But I think they're like, hey, we can get him to turn the ball over less next year if we work with him, craft him down a little bit. And maybe that's why they brought him in. I just think the Colts didn't want to be the Vikings of this year where they let the quarterback go and he turns into a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, which I'm not saying Sam Darnold is.
Sure.
I'm just saying Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl.
2 games before they played the Chiefs, the Steelers weren't really great shakes at this time. They were 5-3 at the point, 3-2. Daniel Jones had 3 interceptions in that game, a big game for the Colts to prove themselves as good. So he has 3 picks and he fumbled 3 times. So he fumbled 3 times, lost 2, and that's what he did. We're talking about what he did right before he played the Chiefs. He started to really not play well, and then, of course, they get that overtime win overseas against Atlanta. And Atlanta wasn't a great team, and Daniel Jones was okay. He did have an interception in that game, so now that's 4 in 2 games, and he fumbled 3 times. He went 2 straight weeks with fumbling at least 3 times. That's too much. That is way too much for a guy that you're going to back the Brinks truck up.
That's way too much for
to have
us.
4 picks and 6 fumbles against 2 bad pass defenses is not acceptable.
That's way too much for his talent level. People will be like, well, if that was Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, you'd be okay with it. But it's Daniel Jones. You can't say that about Daniel Jones. So I get where you're coming from. I just think Steichen thinks he can work with Daniel Jones and craft him into not turning the ball over.
And he was a tad banged up, but he still started. He still started the
Right.
game after the Chiefs when they played the Texans.
Which I thought was crazy, but I also think the skier that is doing skiing on a torn ACL is crazy too. So I'm just a weakling, I guess, because I'd be down forever.
Would you put them in that upper tier? Would you put them in the upper tier in the AFC?
Who?
Or the Colts?
Oh no!
You think they've arrived?
No, I don't think they've arrived. They're
So level C,
I would say they're like level C,
like
where
a playoff maybe. They should have made the playoffs
They're a
this year. They
playoff
were
team.
steamrolling.
I
They were
think they're a playoff
steamrolling to the playoffs
Yeah,
this year. They
they're a
should have
playoff
made it.
team. They're a playoff team. Like I think
We thought they were going to make it this year, and they melted down.
it didn't help. They lost their quarterback.
No, losing Jones did hurt. No
Right,
question about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think if Jones is healthy, I think they make the playoffs.
That team was 7-1 at one point.
I know. But I still think if Daniel Jones is healthy, do you think that if Daniel Jones is healthy the whole season, they make the playoffs?
Yeah. Although I will say this though, with the Colts, they had that win against Atlanta in what was that? Was that a London game?
I thought that was a London game.
But then they lost to the Chiefs because the schedule got tougher then. Like after Atlanta, that's what everybody's saying. See what the Colts are after the Chiefs. Because then it was Kansas City, Houston, Jacksonville, Seattle. That's a pretty good little stretch there, right? AFC playoff team, team in the Super Bowl. Then San Francisco, another
Who
playoff
was it, the
game.
playoff team?
Then Jacksonville again, another playoff game, and then Houston. Guess what? They lost every single one of them.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just saying the schedule did get tougher, much different than playing Arizona and Tennessee and the Raiders. I mean, this is the crap they played. I mean, they were torching the Raiders and the Cardinals and the Titans and the Falcons.
We always say good teams are supposed to do that, and they were doing that.
But they lost to everybody good, and they beat everybody really bad. And they give up 2 picks for Sauce Gardner. That's hilarious.
That right there was the craziest thing because it gives the Chiefs fans false hope that you can get 2 first rounds for McDuffie, and that's not going to happen.
Oh no.
So that's the craziest thing to me is all these Chiefs fans well they got 2 firsters for Sauce. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. No one's going to do that with the Chiefs.
I've got some Sauce stuff later. He said something I thought was pretty interesting this week. Yeah, he's talking about Shane Steichen. Something I actually liked about the Colts.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually going to talk positive about it in a minute.
Okay.
Because Sauce had some audio where I was like, whoa, it's pretty good stuff there, Sauce. I'll bring you that later. But speaking of the big week, the big radio row that was Super Bowl week, funny stuff happened last night. I didn't get to it this time because I get sidetracked talking about Daniel Jones. We'll play it next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Pat Boyle with a Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. New England and Seattle in a matchup that nobody predicted, and I feel like I'm in the minority of people picking New England to not only cover, but win the game. New England's QB has struggled so far throughout the postseason. There's no denying that. But he put together a near MVP regular season, and I don't care who it came against. There's something to be said about playing 3 straight top 5 defenses in the playoffs and then having 2 weeks to prepare for another elite defense. On top of that, New England's defense is not getting the same love as Seattle, which I think is wrong. There's that old adage, peaking at the right time. New England is about as fundamentally sound as they come, and what I'm projecting as a low-scoring game, that'll make all the difference. I like New England to not only cover, but win. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is presented nationally by Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
And welcome back to After Hours, Jay Binkley, JT Noah. We'll get back into some fun AFC stuff when we go, JT. Do you miss the Chiefs not playing this weekend? You know, withdrawals?
No, it's kind of funny. Not really. I've seen so many people on Twitter be like, man, the playoffs aren't the same without the Chiefs. And I'm sitting back like, I've actually enjoyed these playoffs a lot, actually. And
They're still fun. I mean, it's still the NFL playoffs.
It's kind of funny. And my friends hate me for saying this, but it's kind of nice this year where the Chiefs aren't in it. And I don't have a heart rate problem because I'm not watching them play.
I'm curious what the cardiac units look like during Chiefs games or after them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because they've been going down the wire like every week.
Well, my dad,
even when they're winning,
my dad has AFib problems, heart problems, and so
I understand that.
Well, it was way before he's not a big sports guy, but every time he has one, I go, stop watching the Chiefs. Like, he's like, I don't even watch them that hard. I go, I know, but they'll give you a heart problem no matter how you feel about them.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question with that team. But this is our last Football Friday. This is it. But it does get better. As I mentioned, combines this month. Then you got free agency next month. The NFL's found a way to be relevant 12 months a year, which is really crazy.
Hey, don't forget about the Royals, though.
I know. I didn't even say it. I said Vern's going Monday, which you get the Royals and you get the WBC. WBC is awesome.
Oh, I love the WBC.
The Olympics starting tonight's awesome. Watching pro athletes in the NHL
so
playing.
Good. Do you? Did you like the Four Nations. Did you watch the Four Nations?
I
last
did.
year?
I loved it. I thought the NHL did a great job with that.
I thought the NHL did a great job, just like what baseball does with the WBC. I thought those two things.
WBC is got some. I mean, that is those rosters are loaded.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
The Team USA roster is so good.
Oh, Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge. I mean, it is loaded.
Schwarbs,
yeah. And I mean, the pitching staff.
Do you know Kershaw's still going to play for it? He's done with the Dodgers, but he's going to play for this.
Oh, he's going to play for it?
It's pretty cool,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, that pitching staff for USA is insane.
I think people like the baseball classic. I think they'll get into it because usually the Olympics get you in the whole, rooting for Team USA and all that. Then all of a sudden you get to see them play in the WBC and it carries on. So, those kind of things work out well. I think that's going to make for kind of a fun spring in Kansas City. I take it you didn't watch the Pro Bowl. Were you one of the 1.9 million people that actually watched it?
No, I didn't even know it happened. So no.
I mean, it's terrible ratings for the NFL. I mean, the NFL, like the NBA might be happy with that, or Major League Baseball might be happy with that, but that's the NFL. People still consume it, and they were still watching the Pro Bowl, usually around 4 or 5 million. They didn't watch it this year. It was terrible. And, they build up the fact they were going to.
When you have Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders as your quarterbacks for the AFC.
And they invited Justin Fields, who was benched in November.
Yeah.
And he said no, which is a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, good for him. He understood it. It showed to me not like, oh, hey, Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco got invites. It showed how many people don't want to be there.
Here's the thing that was disappointing about it. They kept building up, the tug of war in the dodgeball. And, it was all going to be one night. So you think, all right, they're going to take halftime of the game. They'll do the tug of war or whatever, and you'll see more things. But it's already done. We had fun with the Tuesday night, JT, because dodgeball had already been done. The Chiefs had tweeted it out. The AFC had to win. It's like, did you see it televised? Was it thrown on at 3 a.m. on the NFL Network? When was it on? Did you have to go to YouTube to go watch it? They did a terrible job marketing that.
Yeah, there was no promoting it, no nothing.
And you couldn't Google and find out when it's on or anything. It was just a terribly run thing. It's good that they're doing the thing at the side of the Super Bowl during the week. That way the players are already there, and hopefully they did it so you get more participation. But they got to end it. And then last night was the NFL honors. I hate award shows, but I will tune in to see this because it does matter. You get the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like, I actually like those awards, like the Heisman Protector of the Year. Creed Humphrey was up for that, so there's interest there. The Walter Payton Man of the Year. Although I could do without the whole, I hate thank you speeches. I do. When someone wins an award and they get up there and they're all nervous.
You don't like to thank you. I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my high school coach. I want to thank the college coordinators.
You got to play drinking bingo with it because they will thank the high school coach. And what else they'll say? I want to thank my coach for believing in me. When nobody else did, they believed in me. Keep in mind, this is the top 1%. These guys have been coddled and spoiled from high school, most of them from high school, going to college, where now they're compensated, then going to the NFL. Spare me the whole nobody believed in me crap. No one's buying that. Yeah, there's a few guys that fall through the cracks, but a lot of them don't. But a lot of them will say, hey, no one believed in me, when actually they do. There's teams that have won games before that said nobody believed in us, but yet they were the favored team going in. Like, they were the favorite to win, but they'll play it up as nobody believed. The teams love playing up nobody believed in me.
Do you think
that's
the
what the thank
Seahawks will
yous
say
are.
that Sunday night if they win? Do you think they'll be like...
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But then there was this, and this made me cringe. This made me actually change the channel.
It made you change...
25 AP Coach of the Year is Mike Verable. Mike Verable is busy preparing for the Super Bowl.
See, now that was terrible. And it was embarrassing.
Do you know who Mike Verable is?
No.
Okay.
It was embarrassing because you doubled down on it. She didn't just say it once. She said it twice. She didn't have to. If you don't know the name, she could have gone, Mike's not with us tonight. She could have gone Mike, just Mike only at the end. Well, Mike's not with us tonight because, you can read that at the prompter. Mike's not with us tonight. He's preparing for the Super Bowl. But here's the deal. When we have these interviews and stuff, a lot of times, we'll listen to YouTube and everything else. Do I mispronounce stuff all the time? I do. But if I'm interviewing them or going to have them on, you go to YouTube, you find out the pronunciation of the name. But you're telling me there was nobody there with the NFL Honors Committee They could have told, hey, these are the candidates. This is how you say the name.
I'm surprised there
it's
wasn't
Mike
like a
Vrabel. I'm shocked
I'm surprised
that
there was
nobody
no
was there.
pronunciation under the card because usually
Oh,
at
yeah.
the draft you have that under your card. I've seen it where they read off and they're
For
like,
Goodell.
oh yeah, and so I mean, instead now they're like, oh yeah, you go up there and you're gonna say verbal. Yep.
But she doubled down on it, said it twice. I was like, man, this is the coach of the year.
This is a guy.
I mean,
that's
it's not life and death or anything like that, but it is a tad disrespectful.
This is a guy that could cut his ding-a-ling in half if they win a Super Bowl Sunday, and you don't know his name. Come on now.
I mean, coach of the year. He's in the Super Bowl. This is the NFL honors right at the Super Bowl site, and you
Do you
goof it
think?
twice.
Do you think his team's giving him crap for it?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
I have to be.
I'm sure he'll probably have fun with it. And again, it's not the end of the world, but the other coaches, man, they were showing like other coaches in the crowd. It's like, ooh, it was like one of those cringeworthy moments, just like those thank you speeches are cringeworthy. And something I really hate is red carpet. Whenever they show those, I try
You
to
don't like
flip
the red
that.
carpet?
No, because of the head nodders, right?
Yeah.
When they're doing the interview, they nod their head. Whoever's interviewing them nods their head like a bobblehead. You ever notice that? Like if
Yeah,
someone's
yeah.
doing an interview on the red carpet, they'll nod their head on a bobblehead. Like no matter what they say, they'll still nod their head. Like, hey, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
AJT, how you doing, man?
Right,
What'd you have
right.
for dinner? Oh, really? Mac and cheese. Awesome.
With sausages. But I don't know if did you see the one with his name's Drewski that was doing JSN and he butchered the name.
That was terrible. Again,
Poor Emmett Smith looked like he was uncomfortable. I think that was Emmett Smith up there.
nah,
with
it
him.
was Barry.
Oh, was it Barry? Okay.
It was Barry. But it's
I
just,
didn't watch the award, so I couldn't. Yeah.
but it's like, man, like award shows in general are bad. The only one I typically will watch the entire time is the Heisman.
Heisman's a good
because
one.
I still like it. I still like the Heisman Trophy, and I think they're doing a better job with it now, especially when they interview the coaches and stuff. Because again, you'll hear no one believed in us, all this, and no one bought into us, and this coach back in high school believed in me, and my parents believed in me, and they took me to practice. Oh, and then I became a 5-star, and then I was paid at my college, and nobody believed in me, and I was drafted in the second round. Nobody believed in me to be a first-round pick, and here I am accepting an award. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, they need to work on that. So, yeah, that's not good. But the Heisman I will watch. I
love the
Now, the
Heisman.
NFL, yeah, I was interested in it. Like, because the Chiefs aren't typically in these, which is weird. Even when they're in the Super Bowl, they're not in these. I know they have a Man of the Year candidate. Every team does. And this year was Kelsey or whatever. But the last couple of years, they didn't have assistant coaches in there. Like, Spags should have been it. Like, back when they beat San Francisco and stuff in Philadelphia, he wasn't even assistant coach of the year candidate. Wasn't. Andy Reid, of course, not coach of the year. Don't have offensive player of the year. I feel like Johnny Gomes here. Hey, MVP, not on our team. That's what you feel like. Mahomes wasn't up for it or anything, but I am curious. I know I can just check Twitter or whatever and see who won different awards because that was coming out fast and furious with every journalist that was there that would tweet out names of who got the award. But, yeah, today's Friday, so I'm ready for it to begin. Like, ready for it to begin.
You're ready for the Super Bowl to begin?
100%, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
just don't
usually
think there's any
usually
hype for
something.
it. It's just so weird.
There's usually something sad about it too at the end of the football season. Because I felt that way a little bit when the college football playoffs ended. They drugged that thing out as long as they could, which I was fine with because I enjoyed it.
I just they need to redo that schedule, but that's beside the point for the college playoffs because I it's so bad. But I think the Super Bowl is going to be here, and I think people are going to underappreciate the game, and then when it's over, they're going to realize there's no more football till
But there is baseball, like you say. It's 6-2-0s. Even ask me a Royals question.
Yeah.
Royals going to make another move. Tigers seem they're destined to win the AL Central because of Scooble's deal and Framber Valdez and stuff like this. And I'll tell you this much, too. The White Sox are a team they've typically beat up on. They were, 12-1 2 years ago against – you played them 13 times in your division. They were 10-3 last year against the White Sox. They've actually gone out and spent money. Like, I do feel the White Sox will be
They went and
better
got
this year.
that Chinese player,
Japanese.
right? Japanese, yeah. Did you see? I
Slugger.
don't know if you saw this.
So the White Sox will be – they're not ready for primetime yet, but they'll be much better than going 10-3 against them.
In his contract, in the contract that this guy signed with the White Sox, and it was that they would have to put bidets in the clubhouse for him, like those toilets that spray.
Bidet.
It's a bidet.
Bidet.
I
French
call-
washer.
Yeah.
Bidet.
He said.
Don't drink it.
He said. He said it was mandatory to have him in the clubhouse, and they put him in there so he
Really?
would sign with him.
Have you ever used one?
No.
I haven't either.
I've seen one though. We stopped at a hotel, in Louisville, Kentucky, and I think it was a malfunction because that thing shot all the way to the ceiling. So we would just.
I always
press
wonder
it.
about like, getting your whole clothes soaked or whatever.
So my dad would just hit the button just to see it shoot all over the place. Those mates probably hated us.
Oh man. Have you got your snacks yet and stuff? Before we dive into the some NFL draft stuff at 7, I want to talk about the big game Sunday, the Super Bowl. Have you got your stuff yet? I have. Text line, what are you eating for the Super Bowl this weekend? What are you drinking? That's what I'm curious about. We'll discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You know, JT, as much as we want to see the Royals spend money, there is going to be a bit of a limitation. You know, when those 9 teams kind of lost out on a FanDuel deal as far as a television deal right at the last minute, where the Royals are one of the 6 teams that left and turned over the TV rights to MLB TV, Royals.tv, $99 in market, $149 to watch everybody else, about $250 you want to watch the Royals and everybody else, but if you just want to watch the Royals, it'd be about $100. That's what it costs you. There was initial reports that the Cardinals, because they put their numbers out there first, they were going to make $60 million for their TV contract this year with FanDuel, and now it's going to be around $20 million So it was looking like the Cardinals were going to take a $40 million hit. So getting about a third of the money that they naturally would with FanDuel. Well, the Royals would have been in the same case. People have corrected those figures, and they said it was only going to be $40 million for FanDuel, and they're only going to make $20 million for MLB TV. That's still $20 million hit. And you know what? If that's the Cardinals, the Royals TV contract is going to be very similar. They're not going to have that money. They're going to lose at least, $20 to $30 million by switching to MLB.TV. We'll see what the subscribers are as far as Royals.TV. But still, that's a hit, man. That's a hit. When you're not making $200 million on your TV contract like some teams have, and some teams, like in Houston and in Chicago, I know the White Sox have teamed up with like the Bulls and the Blackhawks, and they have their own TV network for all three. And in Houston, they've done something similar with the Astros and the Rockets, to have multiple sports on a channel. So it can be done. But in Kansas City, there's not a whole lot of options. So if St. Louis is losing that kind of cash, Kansas City is going to lose some of that cash as well. They are. These monster contracts, $35 million a year, $39 million a year, throwing cash as a Band-Aid like the Dodgers do. Royals can't play that game, man. They can't play in that same league. So it is interesting. Going back to 1989, the Royals were had the highest payroll in Major League Baseball. Cable television exploded at that point. Like the Yankees and was it Madison Square Garden at that point before it became Yes, Superstation, WGN, all that. But the Royals did have the highest payroll in all of baseball going back to 1989. And then things changed. Then the cable television explosion changed. And now we're kind of going back to that. Now all of a sudden it's the haves and the have-nots with TV contracts. And to think that won't affect the Royals, think again, because it will. I think that will affect the Royals going forward as far as the bottom line and the kind of money that they can spend.
Well, apparently it's already showing because they've taken away our dollar dog nights. The limits.
It's going to be once a month now, right?
Something like that. Something about
Tuesday nights, I think.
The second Tuesday of the month, it says. That's crazy.
Are you a big dollar night fan?
Well, I mean, no, but I can't eat that many dogs anymore. But when I was...
What else could you get? Because was it Cokes as well, or was it just dogs?
I thought it was just the hot dogs. I could be wrong. But I went with one of my friends, and he put down 6 hot dogs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or you do the 9-inning challenge with a dog and a beer every inning?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or is it more? Does it keep multiplying or what?
I thought it was just 9 and 9.
Have you done that?
No, I don't drink beer, so.
Oh, man. You'd have to mix something else. Have you got your Super Bowl stuff yet?
Yep.
What'd you get?
We're doing rotel, and the buddy of mine is making burnt ends and barbecue ribs.
There you go. And those are going to be homemade burnt ends? Or is he buying them somewhere?
Oh, yeah. He's making them on the grill himself.
Does he do a good job with them?
Oh, yeah. Will, my man, is a good griller.
Is he working at a barbecue restaurant, or does he just do this for fun?
He does it at home for his wife and his newborn kid.
So he goes out with burnt ends, huh? That's awesome.
Burnt ends, yeah.
I love it. But they're not real fatty or anything. They're perfect burnt ends.
Well, I've never had his burnt ends. I've had his ribs, but he's doing his burnt ends. But his wife loves his burnt ends. So I mean, I'll eat them. I'm okay with them. I'm not a big crazy enough. I live in Kansas City. I'm not a big barbecue guy. I like the chicken more than barbecue itself. So
I'll tell you, who's got underrated wings at Smokehouse.
Smokehouse barbecue?
I used to go there and just eat the barbecue.
Never had.
But
the
I
wings.
had some of the wings. I heard Bob talking about these wings. So I was like, I'll try these Cajun butter ones or whatever. It's like, whoa. Because usually it's like Al's wings. The guys from Buffalo, so they're obviously good wings. But the ones at Smokehouse, good wings. But wings are a staple for Super Bowl Sunday.
What is your staple food that you have to have at a party?
You got to have at least Smokies. The Smokies and barbecue sauce, yeah. Got to have those wrap things that they cut all up and the little
They're called pinwheels. Do not forget about the pinwheels. Those
the pinwheels
are
are pepperoni.
What?
But pinwheels are pepperoni. But the wraps, are those pinwheels too?
I thought those were the pinwheels.
I don't know.
I always called those the pinwheels.
That's what I always get them. I don't know what they're called.
Awesome. I love pinwheels. I could eat it like all. You know, it's so funny talking about pinwheels. I probably eat 3 tortillas worth of pinwheels, just like I probably eat 4 tortillas worth of chips or more. And when I see
what's in it though, ham, roast beef, turkey, what do you got?
Oh yeah, we'll do like a cream cheese spread, like a jalapeno cream cheese with ham and turkey in it. Yeah, but like when you take you look at a tortilla, you're like, I only want one. I don't need all those. But man, when I see chips or pinwheel, I'll eat 4 tortillas full of them.
Yeah, I want Rotel too.
I'm making the Rotel, so yes, it's gonna be great.
Drink selection. I know you're not a beer guy.
I usually stop at Quick Trip and I'll get me a freezy. So
That's fine.
Yep.
I'm going Boulevard Irish Ale.
Boulevard
And Coors Light, of course, but Boulevard Irish Ale will be the choice.
Now I'm assuming you're sitting at home by yourself.
You know. What's that?
You're sitting at home by yourself to watch the game?
Yeah, just a couple people probably. I don't like watching football.
Right,
people.
exactly. That's what
Never
I said.
have.
I was about to say, I bet you're at home by yourself.
Well, I know you don't like watching Chiefs games with people.
Nope. Just my brother.
I mean, it is different not having the Chiefs in the game.
Yeah.
Like
people, I won't be mad if people start trying to talk to me. I'll be like, all right, I'll talk to you. But if it was the Chiefs, I'd be like, do not talk to me. Please do not talk to me. After the beep, you can leave your voicemail.
Here's the funny thing you don't hear. Remember all that Chiefs hate and people were tired of them and Chiefs fatigue and all that only seeing the Chiefs? Where's that for the Patriots? Where's that same energy? This is their 10th Super Bowl since 2001.
I think
Where's the energy for watching the Patriots every freaking Super Bowl Sunday?
Because it's a different quarterback. It's a different coach now. So it's like, all right, hey, this is a different team.
So you're telling me if the Chiefs had a different quarterback and coach or whatever, I guarantee you people would still be sick of it.
Well, they also took off, 6 years? They haven't been in the Super Bowl in 6 years?
So, yeah, but still, that's a lot. That's a decade worth of Super Bowls that you've been in.
I don't know. People are weird.
But you don't hear the fatigue. Don't hear fatigue about the Patriots. None. Everybody wants to see Drake May, who damn near won the MVP last night. You see that? Justin Herbert got one first place vote.
Justin Herbert getting the one.
I mean, Josh Allen was on there too, but the Herbert vote, because
he wasn't even a finalist.
Well, Sam was saying because of the offensive line. So you can make that case with a lot of different teams with the offensive line getting banged up. But yeah, Stafford and May were that close. I thought it would be interesting if May got it, because it's rare to find a quarterback that only has one 300-yard game in his whole career win MVP. He only had one all season. He's extremely accurate. Led the NFL in completion percentage, but one 300-yard game. One. You don't see it very often.
No. Do you think May wins it if the Rams lose in the divisional round?
I don't know when was the actual voting put in, though, because I think it was done before the postseason.
Oh, okay. See, I never know when it's, quote-unquote, officially done.
And the Hall of Fame didn't have Belichick, which is weird. I'm Team Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. 100%.
I am, too. I
And
also think
get in.
Robert Kraft should be in there.
I think, 100%. He's 14 years he's been on there. He should be in there for what he's doing. I mean, it's just, he's gone with, 3 different head coaches as owner, helped the 2011 lockout, helped negotiate these TV contracts. And Eli Manning just still sitting out there not in. I'm Team Eli getting to the Hall of Fame. I know people don't want to see Eli in the Hall of Fame. And I just say this. Make the case of Dan Fouts in the Hall of Fame, which he is, or Eli Manning. Eli Manning has 14,000 yards more passing, over 100 more touchdowns. Eli is 11th in the NFL history in passing yards and touchdowns. He's got 2 rings, and he beat the Patriots both times, including ending the Patriots' undefeated season. I just think when you beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, it should add more cachet to you. It was so difficult to do, but doing that twice like he did, and he won 2 rings, I'm team go ahead and put him in the
Your team
the Hall
put
of
him
Fame.
in. Okay. I'm totally with you. Eli
I mean, a lot of people aren't, but I mean, I was like, well, what are the qualifications then? He's top 11 in touchdown passes and yards, and he's got 2 rings, and those came against Tom Brady. It's not like just anybody else, and he got lucky who they played. No, he beat Tom Brady twice. That should mean something.
Yeah, and he beat the team that was going for a perfect record. So, I mean, there's also that, too. So
I'm sure they're just punishing him at this point. Not punishing him, but they like to do that. They like to hold people out. It's not your time yet, and then they wait and tell them, and then they vote you in. Just like Belichick should have gone now, because 100%, you see that name, you vote on it. See that name, 100%. But the voting will change. Like, the voting will change. They've talked about it. Because of all this controversy with Belichick, it will change. And it'll be right for Andy Reid. People are like, well, if Belichick didn't get in right away, Andy Reid's not going to get in right away. But the good news about Belichick not being in, they're going to change how the voting's done. And I do think Andy Reid will benefit from that. After all, 29 coaches are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And I get why Gronkowski is upset, but I don't know if you saw what he said or heard what he said, but he said, if Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, no coach is. I think Andy Reid will be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
No, he's right about that.
Well, right,
He's
yeah.
right about that. But I do think the voting will change.
Right.
It'll be much different when Andy goes in.
Well,
It'll wait
they
1 year.
needed to change this for a while. So I think, if anything, this is going to help make the change happen faster.
Well, regardless, I'd put Eli in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if someone says, "Well, just look at the career numbers," well, okay, he's got 14,000 more passing yards than Dan Fouts, 100 more touchdowns, and he won 2 Super Bowls. Dan Fouts didn't even go to the Super Bowl, but he's in the Hall of Fame. How can you make that argument that one's a Hall of Famer and one isn't? So, regardless, but Andy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I do believe he'll get in because the voting will change. All right, we'll shift gears to the NFL draft next. Got the Olympics on. Got the Olympics opening ceremonies. If you haven't seen all the replays on yet, but I've tried to stay away from it, so it's not spoiled for us tonight, my friend. We got the Olympic opening ceremonies. We got Olympics all night, man. We're going to be showing crap all night that you're going to watch. Of course, there's a time delay. And so middle of the night, events will be going on. It'll be fun to watch. Anyway, NFL draft next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. New to DraftKings? New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 965. That's code 965 to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Vern's Hot Stove Show, Thursday nights starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back after hours, 7 o'clock hour. Jay Binkley, JT Noah. JT, you all in on the NFL draft at this point. Obviously, we're going to be into some Major League Baseball here with the Royals as well when they get going in spring training. Josh Vernier leaves Monday, by the way. I told you that, but Vern is heading out Monday.
Yeah, I'm not fully into the NFL draft just yet. I linger myself into it. Even when the Chiefs were in the Super Bowls, that was easier to do, but I still linger myself into the NFL draft. I wait till the season's officially over for the whole NFL before I really deep dive into it. Sure, there's a couple guys I want, obviously at number 9, but I haven't like taken a deep dive into it yet.
I found that the interest was more. The way interest is only there in Kansas City, always there. Like who you want, but usually we're looking at the end of the draft, end of round 1, when 12 to 18 guys are first-round picks, have grades at least to be first-round picks, and then everybody else is kind of like, all right, who else can fill out your team? Because they are picking always at the end, and this will be different. But I found there was a lot of interest there. When they got into the top 10 for draft picks, I saw a lot more interest than people interested in it in Kansas City. I'm sure your group of friends has their wish list, and everybody's got their wish list of where the Chiefs should go. Make that drive to St. Joe a little more fun. I say drive to St. Joe, which will probably change here within a couple of years, but at least for this point, you can go up to St. Joe and you can see your top 10 draft pick. However, you're still 100% on defense.
I am. I still want an edge rusher. And I get why people would want offense. I don't think, and I say this, I guess, with an asterisk, but I don't think there is a wrong choice at number 9. And what I mean by that is I think no matter what you get, I think will help the team down the road, whether it be this year.
As long as it's not like a center or something.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, as long as it's not like a quarterback or a linebacker, I feel like they will be on the path. Like, if you go defensive end, you take Bailey, I'll be happy. If you go wide receiver and you take, like you guys have posted, maybe Lemon or even another wide receiver, I'd be okay. If they take Downs, I'd be okay with it. Like, I don't think I would be too upset with who they take.
You could be sold on anybody.
Exactly.
And there's going to be choices, but obviously in the top 3 rounds, you have your wish list of positions. Yeah. Like if you were to ask me, it'd be wide receiver, edge, running back would be top 3. Actually, in that order is how I'd go. Because I'd still go playmaker at number 9. And we'll see. A lot can change. I mean, a lot of things changed right after the Senior Bowl, right? A lot of things changed on that. Caleb Banks all of a sudden became the hot name for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm in 3 mock drafts last week for pick number 9. Caleb Banks, defensive lineman out of Florida. Does have the 35-inch arms. That's 100% perfect in the National Football League. Chiefs love that as far as a long-armed individual, so I get that. But he only played 3 games this year because he had that foot injury. That should scare you a little bit. A little bit.
Because, I mean, you think about it, Simmons had the injury, and it kind of took him out for the season. I know he also had...
Oh, it did. He's probably looking at being a top 10 pick without it.
Right, and I also know he had personal issues with being gone for some of the season. But injuries are a huge thing that NFL teams look at.
Sure.
So I think I think this is how it should go. If you want a wish list, that's great. I think people that have a wish list of 7 or 8 people is a little wild. I like a wish list of 3 to 4 players. My 3 to 4 players, they're not all the same position. I like Bailey. My number 1 guy would be Bailey. I love Bailey from Texas Tech. My number 2 guy would be the Miami defensive end in
Bain or Messidor? Bain.
Well,
Messidor would be way too early for him.
Yeah, Bain, even though he wasn't even the sack leader like you like to say on the team. Number 3 would be a wide receiver, whether it be if Cardell Tate somehow slips there, that'd be great, or Lemon. And then my number 4 is, I would say, Downs.
Caleb Downs is going to be a transitional player. Honestly, probably the best player in the top 10, to be honest with you.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, as far as talent is concerned.
Like pure just talent.
Yeah, and people forget he can return the ball as well. They're not going to ask him to do it as much, but he will. We did our mock this week. We had Mekhi Lemon, of course. I like him. He's 3 drops in the last 175 targets. That's what you want, because I'm tired of guys dropping the football when Mahomes throws it to them, which we've all seen a ton of drops when it comes to the wide receivers of the Chiefs. It's been going back since Tyreek Hill was here, the drop problem the Chiefs had. We did go Zion at pick 40. Zion Young, who had a huge week at the Senior Bowl and a good game for the Senior Bowl as well. But Zion Young, he's steadily climbing, though. Pick 40 might be a pipe dream for Zion Young at this point. We had him at 40 because he was available, but we haven't got to the combine yet. And like I said, the Senior Bowl guys started jumping up.
Yeah, he won MVP for crying out loud.
He did. And Nussmeier did it for the game, but he got the American Team Player of the Week or whatever, and there was a National Player of the Week. But he was one of them. But Zion Young's a stud. 3rd, we went Emma Johnson. running back in Nebraska, led the Big Ten in rushing. Needs to work on his pass blocking, run blocking's there. He had 46 catches, though, so he catches the ball in the backfield, and he's a good runner as well. We go Albert Regis, defensive lineman for A&M in the 4th round. And then in round 5, we went Davison Igbenison, the cornerback, who's 6'2", at Ohio State. Had a problem with penalties early on. He kind of shored those up a little bit for the Buckeyes. And then Bryce Betcher, the do-everything linebacker at Oregon with 136 tackles this year. In the postseason, there are 3 games Oregon had. He had at least 9 tackles in each one of those games. He had 10 in Oregon's final game. Was drafted by the Astros in the 13th round. But he says he wants to play NFL football, so we'll see what direction. But I figured, so we went heavily on defense. We did address tight end, or not tight end, but running back and wide receiver. No tight end. And Kenyon Sadiq was the hot name there for a while, the tight end from Oregon. Everybody wanted. But the Travis Kelce decision does matter. Like, that matters big time for the Kansas City Chiefs. He said he'll be making his decision hopefully before free agency in the draft, so they can take a shot at the Kyle Pitts or Isaiah Likely, somebody like that, because you can get a tight end reasonably a lot better off than you can wide receiver like an Alec Pierce. Just an okay, good wide receiver for over $20 million a year would cost them too much money. Yes, I understand the want for Breece Hall. I do think that'd make a difference. And he wouldn't be breaking the bank for running back either, like $10.5, $11 million a year for him.
I still think they need to bring in a running back.
But a Tyler Algier, somebody like that, would be $3.5 to $5 million, about a third of the price of what it would cost you for that, and then draft a running back. So you bring in an Algier, throw him in your running back room with Rashard, and then you draft a running back.
Do you think Etienne will be an high asking price?
He'll probably be along the line of Rico and
I like
Algier.
Etienne a lot. I think Etienne, if he gets out of Jacksonville, which I don't know if he will, if he gets out of Jacksonville, I would love the Chiefs to get Etienne. I think Etienne has a lot of skill set that I think would fit well in Andy Reid's playing system.
But one thing we do each and every week is I'll look at 25 mocks, the latest that comes out, and look at the positional breakdown of who has what. And early on, going back to January 30th, we saw 7 edge, 13 running backs, believe it or not. So 20 out of the 25 selections were either Jeremiah Love at running back, or it's mostly Reuben Bain. There were some Baileys mixed in there at edge. Only 2 receivers. And that was on the 30th, 2 receivers. And then we go to the next one, and we only had 1 wide receiver. We had 1 for Jordan Tyson back on the 3rd of February, which was earlier this week, Tuesday. 1. Just 1 receiver in Jordan Tyson. And then today I looked at just 10 of them because I didn't want to duplicate them, because I didn't want to duplicate the mocks for them. But the 10 fresh ones since Tuesday and now, a little bit different. A little bit different. Out of that 10, Jeremiah Love 4. Reuben Bain just 1. Mansour Delane, the corner from LSU, 1. Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State, 1. Caleb Downs got 1. Francis Muiaga got 1. Spencer Fano 1. No wide receivers. So the latest top 10, we have no wide receivers. You think things change, though, after the combine? Because I think they do. And I think the Chiefs would look for a weapon to have as far as that. But just looking at these trends, I've seen Jeremiah Love go from 13 picked to 12, down to 10. Now 4 of 10, so it's still 40% have some Jeremiah Love. But I do think it matters when Mel Kiper makes his selection, because I think there's a lot of copying that goes on once he does.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big Mel Kiper fan with his mock drafts. But I use his mock draft to use NFL Networks. I mean, I go around CBS Sports, obviously ESPN. So I use all of them and trying to, like you do, configure it and see where all they
But
put.
like Fantasy Life, Matthew Friedman's been like the most accurate for the last 5 years. That's these non-household names that are actually
exactly
more
that's what
accurate.
I'm saying. Yeah. So that's why I think it's interesting when people are like, well, Mel Kiper got it wrong. I was like, well, Mel Kiper gets a lot of things wrong.
I think he was like 14th most accurate or something
just like
last
Joe
year.
Lunardi, when it comes to the bracketology for college basketball, he gets it wrong, and he's on ESPN. So, yeah, they get it wrong, and you got to look around and see what other people are saying the mock draft-wise. And I think the hype for Jeremiah Love has gone down a little bit, because I think they've understood, like, okay, well, do NFL teams really need or want to take a running back in the top 10? And I think the answer is going to be no, because the only team that I would see taking it would be the Chiefs, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to do that. I think
We saw two teams in the AFC West go running backs in the first round.
Right.
Raiders and Chargers. And neither one of them helped those teams.
Exactly. I think the Chiefs.
Well, Hampton was always hurt.
I think the Chiefs understand that, and they can get a running back like you have predicted in the second or third round, and it'd still be a very good running
Don't
back.
wait for the 7th.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Don't wait till the 6th
Don't
or
wait for
the
the
7th,
seventh.
because I don't even think they have a 7th at this point. So you got to wait. So I just.
Yeah, the Chiefs, by the way, text line's asking me 417 about the Chiefs cap. Yeah, they have 30 free agents, and they're the most over the cap in the National Football League. They're going to have to do some cutting and some restructuring to get themselves back under the cap.
Well, Jawan Taylor's probably cut. I mean,
Drew Tranquil.
You probably.
You can restructure Mahomes.
I was about to say reconstruct Mahomes, or you can reconstruct your.
And Kelsey's money's off the books now. Now they bring him back. It'll be at a cheaper rate. Should be around the $10 or $11 million
maybe you try to
category.
maybe you try to reconstruct Chris Jones's contract. I mean, there's always a way to navigate it, and Veach usually finds a way to get under that cap. But it's a lot of things that are going to happen, and I think the Chiefs understand that. But I think this is Veach's most important draft.
100%.
And he's
considering where he's drafting, big time.
Yeah.
And the needs they have.
There's so many needs.
And most of these GMs say they want their roster pretty much set before the draft. So you're not relying so much upon that draft, meaning because you go through free agency, all that'll be done by the time you get to the draft. So do you have your roster kind of where you want, or is there still a few places you're going to need some rookies to have production? And I think the Chiefs are in the camp where those rookies might make a difference. Just like Simmons last year for the Chiefs, somebody they needed.
Well, just think about it. Was it the which
they desperately need him to work out.
I get it always mixed up because it was the COVID year. So I believe it was the draft of 2020 when they got Nick Bolton and Creed Humphrey. Those rookies made an impact right away. That draft, you would say right now, is his best draft. The Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey draft. Hit phenomenally.
2022 was their best draft. Yeah.
Yeah. That was when they got Nick Bolton and Creed Humphrey?
Because those guys, Bolton was 2021. Or no, 2021.
Right.
Bolton.
So I got it mixed up because 2020 was, I knew it was a COVID year because we were still wearing masks when it happened and all that. And they were doing it digitally with like video camera and stuff.
That was Trey Smith.
What?
The Zoom calls.
The Zoom calls, yeah. I mean,
2022 had McDuffie, Karloftis, Sky Moore, Leo Chanel, Josh Williams, Jalen Watson, Isaiah Pacheco, and Najee Johnson. You had a lot of those guys actually contribute in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah. But what I was trying to get to was that draft where he got Creed Humphrey and Nick Bolton, I believed was the one where he actually hit early on.
Yeah, 2021 was ridiculous. He had Bolton, Humphrey, and Trey Smith in that draft.
Exactly. And the first two were like, we always talk, Veach hits better in the 5th round and the 6th round.
He does well in the mid rounds.
He does great in the mid rounds. But that draft, he actually hit in the 1st and 2nd round, it felt like, more than he had in other drafts.
So to be honest with you, they could actually trade down. I don't see him trading up at this draft, but they could.
Do you think
trade
they'd trade down?
I mean, they could because the Denzel Boston would probably, still be there. Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver from Tennessee. I said I think you can get edges good at the end of the 1st round, into the 2nd. So I could see him feasibly trade. I think you don't want to because you finally got a top 10 pick. But this draft's not going to be as good as 2027. It's not even close to being as good as that.
Oh, well, yeah.
2027 is ridiculous.
Well,
we're talking
paper,
the best in decades.
On paper.
On paper.
Oh, we got to remember, it is on paper.
But keep this in mind. We had 63 underclassmen declare for the draft. 5 years ago, we had 130. So because of nil and guys staying in school, like a Dante Moore, Trinidad Chamberlain wants to stay. Because of nil, things have changed, and we've dropped about 54% from where it used to be, from 63 from 131. Big difference.
Now, does that help NFL teams or does that hurt them?
It does. They're more seasoned. They're more seasoned by the time they get to the National Football League. You don't, quote, need all the redshirt years that guys will sometimes get with NFL teams.
But also, I think...
But teams want to make a difference now. It does hurt.
Wouldn't this be... Isn't this the last year of the COVID players?
To get that extra year of eligibility, yeah. It should be.
So then...
Although people still fight it in court, like Trinidad.
Well, right. But I still think, like, this year would be the last year of where you would see people like, well, they just stayed for an extra year of experience, which is the case because they got the COVID. But you're still going to see more players stay because of NIL money. But remember, there was a lot of people that were old. I mean, you think about it, a lot of these defensive ends, Cody was talking about this on Cody and Gold. A lot of these defensive ends that are coming out this year are the same age as Karloftis is.
Yeah, no question. Then there's like the Owen Heineke's of the world from Oklahoma, who had a year playing lacrosse at Ohio State. He's trying to get more eligibility because he's given up on it, just going to the NFL. Not like it's the opposite of what Trinidad Chambliss is trying to do. Come up next, Joe Flacco really spells out what you think about quarterbacks going forward. I love it. For some reason, when Joe Flacco talks, I like listening to it now. Discuss that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Jeff Montgomery here from Amoeba Medical. The new year is all about turning the page and feeling your best. Men, if better sleep and fewer bathroom trips are on your list, an enlarged prostate could be the reason. I decided not to carry that problem into another year and contacted Dr. Brown at Amoeba Medical. Their non-surgical treatment was fast, simple, and came with minimal recovery time. And it's covered by insurance. Start the year more comfortable and well-rested. Schedule a visit with Dr. Brown and the team at Amoeba Medical in Kansas City. Amoeba Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
A record 232 athletes from Team USA competing in Italy. You said you're a big Olympic head, right? You love watching it.
Yeah, I think the Olympics are fascinating. My grandparents loved watching it. My grandma probably is watching it right now.
I mean, hockey, bobsled, those are the things.
She likes to figure skating.
Ski jumping, that's fun.
I love the snowboarding. I was a huge Shaun White fan. Sean White. Sean White is in the booth I saw for NBC, so that's pretty cool because I thought him with this flow of hair and everything was so cool. So, yeah, seeing Sean White in the booth was pretty cool.
Good stuff. Joe Flacco. Do you remember when he was in Denver, he didn't really want to be a mentor because he said that with Drew Lock and stuff there. Like, I'm not paid to be a mentor. And at that point, I was like a little standoffish. Like, okay. I will say this. Don't rule out a Joe Flacco in Kansas City as the backup quarterback. Because Andy Reid likes veteran quarterbacks, journeyman quarterbacks to back up. It's something he likes to do, although Joe may want to play a little bit more than he's going to here. But if there's a case where he has to play the first 3 or 4 games, I think it can be sold that Joe Flacco comes to Kansas City. I love what he said about the guy sitting at the bar. And he said, I used to feel sorry for that guy at the bar sitting by himself eating. But then he's like, now I get it. The guy hasn't made it.
Exactly. Yeah.
The guy has everything there, Joe Flacco. But he was talking about the state of the NFL and the direction he goes. He's talking to Kevin Clark of Omaha Productions. I think it's Peyton Manning's company. And he made a lot of sense as far as the NFL today and kind of the direction it's going.
I don't think anybody coming into the league these days is quite as battle tested as guys that came into the league 15 years ago. I think you can kind of, if you're a good high school recruit, you can kind of ride your way through college, and they're going to pick you because you have potential. I think there was less of that 15 years ago. I think our generation does benefit from, dealing with a little bit of tougher times, just like the generation 20 years before me benefited over us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. I kind of came in as it was transitioning. So I still have that mindset. Like, I don't think it should be roughing the passer when they land on us. I don't think being slapped in the head should be roughing the passer. It honestly annoys me because it affects games in a negative way at random times.
Yeah.
And they can call it or not call it. It needs to get out of the game. They need to go back to it. I know CTE is a thing these days and all that, but it's football. We signed up to play it. And I do think that the guys of my generation probably benefit a little bit from having that mindset, because the guys that are coming into the league nowadays, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean you want receivers to get laid out over the middle and you want guys to be able to land on you? I'm like, yeah, guys, that's football. Like, there's certain things that shouldn't be penalties, and I don't think they see the side of it where it really does. These 15-yard penalties in big situations that really shouldn't be penalties in the game of football, they just they change these games. And as a fan, like, I just don't like it. I want it to be up to us. And getting slapped in the face should not change the game. It really shouldn't. And then on top of that, guys can't even play defense as aggressively because they're getting fined so much money for just normal hits. It's changed the game a lot, and I don't think we're going back. So
No.
I'm just kind of ranting here.
No,
but
please,
man,
please rant.
It's just like, I don't like it. Listen, we signed up to get concussions. We signed up to get hurt. It is what it is. You might not like that, but that's what we kind of did when we decided to play this game.
You may not want to answer this, but is there a personal or a flag that was thrown where you got hit and you were like, really? Really? They threw a flag on that? On that? I'm not even touched.
Yeah. I can't think of one specifically, but yes. And listen, when you're out there in the game, you're going to want to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course. Of
It's
course.
just natural, but man.
I get it.
Yep.
I get it.
I agree with almost everything he had to say there. As far as the NFL and being watered down, I'll react to that. I'll react to it next. By the way, the text line, going back to what we were just talking about, the 913, says they're fighting JUCO counting toward eligibility. Yeah, they were doing that. That's one thing. Pavia got that extra year. They were trying to say that 2 years you went to JUCO, because usually if you did 2 years at JUCO, you get 2 years at a 4-year school, and then boom, or a redshirt year, you could still do that. But it wouldn't count towards your eligibility is what players wanted. And then there was the deal, is it going to be 1 year, 2 years? It's a mess right now, and it's always in the court system. But Joe Flacco, I'll react to what he had to say there, because that stuff he just said right there, a lot of times guys, JT, they don't say anything. Like, they don't say anything at all. They want to push their avocados, whatever they're selling.
Right,
Invisalign or
yeah.
whatever they're trying to sell. But he actually said something there. That was actually a refreshing thing from Joe Flacco. Describe that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane. Since 1929, Shane Company has helped millions of customers find their dream engagement ring. I still hand-select every ruby and sapphire center stone, choosing each one for its unique color and life. We're proud to offer the widest selection of beautiful colored gemstones for your engagement ring and fine jewelry, because a friend wants you to have nothing but the best. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Football's biggest game is right around the corner, and you can get in on all of the action with Underdog right now in Missouri. If you're not on Underdog yet, then you're in luck, because new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And I love playing on Underdog because it's easy. Just head to the app, make entries on if a player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. And if you get them right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Plus, there's new promos dropping every day in the app. So if you like making entries and winning money, then Underdog is the place to be for the big game. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code BOB to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over in present Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and nothing says I love you like Smokehouse Barbecue. This year, treat your Valentine to Smoke and Love Affair dinner for two at Smokehouse Barbecue. Just $59.95, and you'll share a massive spread featuring our famous pork spare ribs and baby back ribs, savory burnt ends, your choice of an appetizer and two sides, and a decadent slice of cheesecake to split for dessert. Check them out at one of their 3 locations in Zona Rosa, Independence, or Gladstone, or at smokehousebbq.com. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Real sports talk for real sports fans. What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and you can catch You Better You Bet with me weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the new Westwood One Sports. From being live from Radio Row for the big game to being joined by the biggest names in sports and entertainment, it's sports talk for people that love sports. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM on Westwood One Sports.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, JT Noah. Would you take some Joe Flacco? He's 41 years old. I mean, Gardner Minshew just fine, but I don't know where Gardner's going to go
anymore.
I mean, come to Kansas City, maybe you play a couple of games. Who knows when Mahomes comes back? He might be ready for game 1. Could be game 3, game 4. Right. We don't know.
I do think it'll be an older quarterback that they bring in to be the backup.
He kind of fits that profile, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it's kind of the place where guys go. They're going to be backups. There's no dreams to be a future starter. I don't know if Gardner, wants to be a starter now in the National Football League. When you look at the market, of backup quarterbacks, and there could be more of a market there. A guy like Flacco comes in here. It's the end of the road. So we'll just have fun with the Chiefs and, pick his brain on what he knows. But everything he said there is right. Like all the help the quarterbacks get.
Oh, yeah.
And the ridiculous thing, Alex and I were talking about yesterday, was something that's been proposed to the NFL Rules Committee It's got to be voted on and stuff. That's when they're doing the replay assist. They're looking at one play. They're looking to see if you fumbled or not, or you threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, or they're looking at things like that. And they haven't decided this yet. They'll have to vote on it. But if they see like a pass or a roughing the passer, not a pass interference, they're not going to review that. But if they see like a roughing the passer, something like that, or a face mask, they can actually throw that in now. Like instead of looking to the one play, you can actually look at other things that might have happened. Meaning you could have a scoop and score, JT, but yet on the same play, I have a roughing the passer, and all of a sudden they bring that back. Wouldn't that drive you nuts? It'd drive you 100% nuts.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it'd drive you nuts as a fan every time they go to replay something. So hopefully that doesn't pass. The tush push, that's a whole different animal. I'm sure that'll see its end this year, although I'm not wild about it. Teams have found a way to slow it down or stop it. Not to great extents, but they have found a way to slow it down and stop it, and teams are more hesitant to do it now. Even Philadelphia wasn't perfect on it. Kareem Hunt was just as good getting a first down than it was on the tush push, but eliminating pushing players downfield, that can be a problem. Like, that can be a problem for the Chiefs.
I think that got to be a problem for anybody.
Anybody, any team.
Yeah.
Because they all do it. College football, they all do it.
Well, the one that they don't call enough is the one where you're pulling the player.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to, but they don't call it enough. So that's why I'm saying, like, they don't call it enough. So who's to say they're going to call it properly anyway if you push them?
And then you have the whole argument of how much, well, if they do pass the law against the tush push or the rule, it'll be how much of you was pushing the ball carrier and how much of you was pushing the defender, right?
Right.
Because they'd say, well, only 30% of me was pushing the ball carrier, 70% of me was pushing the defender. So that way, officials already don't even know what a catch is. So can you imagine if they're trying to decipher that?
I mean, according to Roger Goodell, they've done a great job this year.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he sees no issue with it. So maybe we're just the ones that are blind in the eyes with what we're seeing on the screens.
But he's right. But I will say this, for quarterbacks playing right now, he's right. It is easier to play now than it ever has been.
Well, I mean, think about it. The one Monday night game where the Raiders were in town and Chris Jones did the strip sack on Derek Carr. And Derek Carr has gone on numerous times saying he could not believe that was a flag.
Yeah, and a lot of times guys are going, the quarterback says, that didn't touch me. Didn't touch me. Well, they'll gladly take the penalty.
Chris Jones was like literally tried to put him down pretty soft while taking the ball from him. And they're like, roughing the passer. I'm like, oh my gosh. Just like that call and the Derek Johnson call in the wild card round against the Tennessee Titans always haunts me.
Yeah, it's could be what we're looking at.
The Derek Carr one doesn't haunt me. The wild card round one haunts me.
Because Warren Moon used to light up the scoreboard with throwing, with yardage. He used to light it up. And then you get to the point where it's like, all these rules against defensive backs now touching the receivers, it's easier to throw now. Because even Warren said, hell, how many yards could he have thrown for with these new rules? What's going on in the NFL? So the rules are there to protect the quarterback. I think the roughing the passer is getting a little crazy. The whole body weight thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of times you just can't slow yourself down. Like being a defender right now is not optimal because of all the rules against you. But yeah, Roger Goodell said the officiating's fine. He loves it. Said he loves the officiating this year. Even though not all of them are full-time, not even close to all of them are full-time. They should be because it's a very good salary. And the fact that you could study what the rules are all year. You can go talk to teams about it even more. I know they do it during training camp and everything else. The ones that do preseason games, they'll go talk to different teams. I know the Chiefs always bring in a real NFL official the next year to look at things and see how they were, see how they're going.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the reviews because I know they said they were going to look maybe at reviewing face masks, hands to the head, helmet to helmet, all that stuff. And at points, it's like, okay, sure, we want that. But at the other time, it's like we already have so much stoppage for reviews and all this. It's like, can't we just get it right the first time and not have to go to the review?
I do like replay assist that jumps in instead of waste time.
They don't use it enough. They don't use it enough.
Well, as I was only brought up, the Colts actually benefited from it, right? Shane Steichen, that Chiefs-Colts game, he was going to challenge Noah Gray's catch where he got knocked out.
Still insane catch.
And he caught it. Yeah, it was still a catch. But he was going to challenge it, and he was going to lose, and he was going to lose the timeout. But replay assist said, don't worry about it.
It's not like they just did that for the Colts. I've seen it happen numerous times in different games.
Yeah, replay assist.
Like where they're like, hey, if you do challenge it, it's going to stay the same. So we're going to just not let you challenge it, which is, I think, smart because replay assist is kind of a challenge in a sense by the NFL.
No, it is. But I understand what he's saying about the protection of quarterbacks. And right now, everybody's so starved at him, right? Could McCarthy bring back Aaron Rodgers yet again? Because you look at the NFL and the world, Malik Willis, you talk about Malik Willis, yeah, he's going to be a name. People are going to probably try to trade for Mac Jones with the 49ers. That's going to be a player that people probably look at it. Because the Sam Darnolds of the world aren't exactly, free and clear to go sign with other teams now. The Daniel Jones, he never got that big contract from the Colts yet, but that's the direction they're going. That's where they're going to go. Because they think they found their guy.
Right.
Obviously,
they just don't want to be the Minnesota Vikings. I'm telling you. They just don't
by
want
making a deal for Sauce showed me that they think they have what they need.
And they have Jonathan Taylor.
But they better hurry, though. Like, you better take advantage of Jonathan Taylor while he's still younger.
Well, the problem is the AFC South is, or not the AFC South, but the AFC in a whole is so quarterback heavy. I mean, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, like all the good quarterbacks to great quarterbacks are in the AFC. I mean,
agree.
It's wild to me because I think out of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, at least 4 of them are in the AFC.
Which would be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson.
Right, and then you would have Stafford, I think, as
and then May would be top 5.
May would be top 7, maybe. The thing is, I don't know if I trust May enough.
Or do you have Herbert over him?
That's the thing. I don't know if I trust May yet. I need to see him do it again next year. And,
World Championship would go a long way.
Well, yeah, that would. Actually.
He damn near had an MVP. That was so close.
I would say,
that was as close as when.
Do you take Herbert over May?
Probably not. May's proven he can win in the postseason. And I know Herbert had the banged-up offensive line, but Drake May was dealing with that offensive line in New England, too.
We've seen Herbert collapse multiple times in the playoffs now. This isn't the first time Herbert collapsed. So I would say, I would take Stafford over Drake May.
I wouldn't because of the age.
Well, okay.
Stafford's got like one more year.
But like I'm saying, for like right now in the NFL, top 5, would you take?
Oh, as far as like who's got the most talent?
Right.
Yeah, I'd put Stafford ahead of me.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not talking about like if you're wanting to build a.
Yeah. Obviously, I changed things.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about top 5 in the league right now. I would probably have Stafford ahead of May. That's why I think Stafford's the best quarterback in the NFC.
Hard to argue that.
Because I wouldn't. People are like, well,
it's definitely hard to argue. He's the league MVP.
Well, why? Like people are like, well, what about Caleb Williams? I need to see Caleb Williams do it again. There's gonna be film on him now. I get it. This wasn't his rookie year.
CJ Stroud is really good his rookie year.
Right, and I get this isn't Caleb Williams' rookie year, but to me, this was his rookie year because he had Ben Johnson as quarterback or his head coach. He didn't have what's his face that was fired by the DC in Dallas. I mean, he's not even a coach anymore. But yeah, so I just need to see more from those guys before I can put them ahead of Matthew Stafford. That's why I think Matthew Stafford's in that top 5 with those other 4 quarterbacks.
Let's talk about that because I do have a question.
Okay.
Who's poised for more success going forward? Seattle or New England? The 2 teams that are in the Super Bowl this weekend.
Okay.
It's a way to talk about the Super Bowl this weekend. Which teams are actually scary? We'll just do that next. And the text line, by the way, chime in as well, 913-586-7965.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Your family cozy with a $69 heating system tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. We have pros available 7 days a week to keep your system running at peak efficiency, helping prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and keep your home warm all winter long. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, welcome back. Jay Binkley, JT Noah. All right, JT. I was asked this question. Went on with Buffalo today because they're all worried about New England now, which they should be because they had 5 straight division titles. They concentrated on the Chiefs, and here were the Patriots sneaking right up and passing them. They didn't like it when I said that. They said I was being...
Oh, they got a little butt hurt?
They said I was being rude again.
Oh, rude.
And I said, no, it's true. You guys drafted 5 out of 6. Your first 5 out of 6 picks were on defense. You brought in Bosa. And they're probably going to make a play at Crosby, even though it looks like he wants to stay there now, contradicting other reports. But, they're going to make a play for him. And that's what you have to do, because the Chiefs clearly wanted to beat the Patriots. That was the team in their sights. Forget about the AFC West. They wanted to knock off New England. And that was their thorn, and they did. They hired Spags. Spags was the Patriots killer. That's the guy they went out and got. It makes sense. But Buffalo, in this situation, was concentrating on the Chiefs, and here come the Patriots, right? And they smacked them in the mouth right there in Buffalo. And then they win the division. Now they're in the Super Bowl. It's got to be driving them crazy. They've had their troubles through the years with the Patriots. When Brady was there in New England, Out of the 35 times he played the Bills, he won 32 of them. I mean, it was like ownership of the Buffalo Bills. So every year you go in and say, who's that top tier? And for previous years, it'd always be the Bills. It would be the Bengals because of them always being the thorn in the side and because of Burrow. But that changed. Because they haven't been in the playoffs the last 2 years. So they aren't a top-tier worthy team. Baltimore, I have no idea. Without Harbaugh there, which direction are they going to go? Obviously, Lamar Jackson's still there. Henry, I mean, they got to get better on defense, which I think they will because the defense has really taken a slide since Mike McDonald left to be the head coach of the Seahawks. Ravens defense has totally been terrible.
They went
but
with
Kyle Hamilton's
defensive-minded
still
head
there.
coach. They did go defensive-minded
They
head
did.
coach.
They did. But are they worthy of still staying? I'm going to say yes because they have a 2-time MVP. Even though Jackson has won in the postseason, hasn't won much in the postseason. And he has never been to a Super Bowl, which is what I still, clarify. Hey, you got to win rings. But some people aren't, man. Some people are just happy for participation trophies. Some people just care what you do in the regular season. Some people do. They'll make an argument that Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL. You hear it all the time. You'll hear that Justin Herbert's an elite quarterback in the NFL. You hear Lamar Jackson's an elite quarterback in the NFL. Sorry, I thought we played this game to win. I thought winning Super Bowls was the only thing that matters. To be honest with you, it is the only thing that matters. Just finishing and losing the AFC title game or divisional round doesn't count. You got to have a parade.
I think to some extent you could say, okay, you're happy with what happens. It depends on the fan base, and it depends on where you're at. I for one, think Super Bowls matter in a sense, but then I also go, well, okay, look at Dan Marino. I think Dan Marino's a great quarterback, but he never had a Super Bowl. So
he's 8-10 in the postseason. Flacco actually has 2 more playoff wins than Dan Marino ever did.
That's what I'm saying.
Get a ring.
We talk way higher about Dan Marino than we do Joe Flacco.
We do.
And I don't think do you think Joe Flacco's going to get into the Hall of Fame?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he does, even though he does have a ring. But I think we've lost sight of that. I think we've lost sight of the fact that Super Bowls are what matter. I mean, you can have the Colin Cowards of the world, talking about Josh Allen and talking him up. He's the best of the best. Hey, Lamar Jackson's the best of the best. Well, do something. Even Burrow, all the love for Burrow, at least he's gone. Like, at least he's gone this season.
He's the
win
farthest that's gone between Allen, Jackson, and him.
Yeah. At least he's gone. But if the Bengals can turn around that defense, with Burrow there, with T. Higgins, with Jamar Chase, that's clearly a team that you'd put up there on that upper shelf.
100%. The problem is they've kept all the coaching staff back for one more year.
But as New England, somebody from now on, you will say they belong in that upper tier because they would make the case, the statement that they're in the Super Bowl from the AFC. Are they still going to be in this? And I get it. They'll have a hell of a home field advantage. Now, they had to play this game in Denver, the AFC title game, and that was because of themselves. That's because they lost to the Raiders at home in week 1, which to this day is still the wildest game we've seen in the NFL in a decade. When you have a team that's picking first on the clock, go on the road, and beat a team that's in the Super Bowl in their own place. You just don't see it.
Well,
but
I would say this. There was, to me, the reason that game happened, and I'll go back to it, the week 1 game is you had a quarterback and a head coach that hadn't had a game together, while on the other side in Las Vegas, you had Geno Smith and Pete Carroll who had been together before. So I think there was a different kind of chemistry. I'm not saying, there's an excuse for it. I'm just saying I think there's a reason it happened. It was a week 1 game. Mike Vrabel's first head coach as the Patriots game. But I would say this. I think the Patriots are on that echelon of being up on that top echelon with the Chiefs, if you want to put it there, or with the Bills in a sense, because I would say they're better than the Bills.
I just think there's so much uncertainty because Indianapolis definitely wants to be that team, but I can't put them there.
Right. They're
no
a tier below. They're a tier below.
The Patriots, I don't know. And again, you got to see how things change. Can you back it up? From the show me state, can you back it up? Can you show me? Because we've seen a lot of guys look good, like their first year, like C.J. Stroud, and then not so good. We've seen a ton of teams that rise to the occasion, but we've seen very few teams that have gone to as many Super Bowls or chances the Chiefs have. Obviously, the Patriots would be in that category, but going to 7 in a row, That's insanity.
I'm not saying
that's
they'll
being
go 7
good
in a row.
every single year. No, it's just tough to be good and viable every year because we've seen teams like the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and then you had Bruce Arians all peacocking around talking about running it back. Kansas City was trying to run it back. Then he just went, and he's out of the league. And he didn't do anything. The Rams won with Stafford. Donald retires. They took a few steps back. Now they're building themselves back up. But we've seen teams get to that pinnacle and then fall. We just haven't seen sustained success. That's why what happened in Kansas City is so unbelievable. Going to 7 straight AFC title games, unheard of, to be continually good year after year. And the Patriots will find this out because now they play the first place team in 2 divisions on their schedule.
But
yes, they play like everybody else.
That nerve-wracking
but
to
they
them.
play what everybody else does, but it's where you play. Do you play at home or do you play on the road? Because that stuff matters. And also, as I told Buffalo, the Chiefs, 2 years here in the last 3, they played 3 games within 10 days or 3 within 11, right? And that's what happens when you're playing a bunch of primetime games. That's what happens. The Chiefs found themselves on primetime all the time because everybody wants to watch them. But when you're good, that's what happens. That means you have less rest. So the Chiefs have had to navigate through this playing teams on short rest with a bullseye on their back to beat the Chiefs to make the season. They've had to deal with this. Can the Patriots handle it? Can they handle it?
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely handle it. Here's the thing.
How do we know, though? We don't know. You're just saying that.
I'll tell you how we know. Mike Vrabel has handled it before.
How many rings does Vrabel have?
As a player or as
no,
a coach?
as a coach.
He has 0.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, Andy Reid had 0 coming into the Kansas City era.
But he proved he could navigate through it, is what I'm saying.
I don't think he did.
He already had 3 rings when he's navigating through these issues.
I'm sorry. If you're going to tell me this, I would be, if I'm the Chiefs, more scared of the Patriots than any team in the AFC going into next year. Why? Because of head coach. All the teams that you're afraid of this year, when you were going into this year, don't have the same head coach they had at the end of this year. Ravens?
And this sounds silly. I think the Bengals would be one of them just because of their success against the Chiefs. Honestly, Zach Taylor's not a great coach, but for some reason that team, and I get Lou Anarumo.
They have the mind game on it, but they don't have Lou Anarumo no more.
He was the guy that could really stop.
Right.
That's what the Colts had. The Colts had him. That was actually worried me more than anything the Colts had was Lou Anarumo.
And it worked for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's actually worse than anything else. But
that's the reason I say the Patriots, to me, are, if you're the Chiefs, are the most scariest team right now in the AFC when you look at it because, okay, Buffalo, they fire their head coach. Oh, it's the coaching problem, but then they promote their OC to be the head coach. It makes no sense to me, but that's fear not. Then you have Baltimore, who they parted ways with Harbaugh. Okay, that's fine. But now I need to see this head coach, do his thing. I don't know. I've never seen him coach. Vrabel, to me, whether Drake May is good or great or whatever, Mike Vrabel knows how to coach. And that's the thing that worries me the most, is Mike Vrabel is the second best head coach.
I have no idea why Tennessee got rid of him. No idea.
I have no idea. He's the second best coach in the AFC right behind Andy Reid.
Are they proving now that defensive-minded head coaches can be viable? Because before, everybody wanted offensive-minded. Because the Super Bowl, we have 2 defensive-minded guys.
I think it shows with the coaching carousel this year.
I think it just matters who's the right guy. I think when it comes down to it, offense, defensive mind, doesn't matter. Is he the right guy?
Miami went defense when they hired. Ravens went back to defense. I guess the Steelers obviously went offense, but I mean, all these guys that you...
I don't think it matters. Just if you go offense, better have a good defensive coordinator, right?
Right, and if you are defense, you better have a great offense
like
coordinator.
The Chiefs, I mean, Andy Reid's offense, but Spags defense, right?
Also,
so if you're going to be offensive-minded, you better have a good defensive coordinator.
And that's why Sirianni is the clueless man of them all in Philadelphia, because he's not good at anything.
And now Stoutland's leaving, their offensive line coach leaving.
He's not good at anything. He's the CEO of family, I've been told, but yet you kick out your offensive line coach, who's the most renowned.
But he's had success, though.
Who, Sirianni?
Oh, yeah. A lot of it.
Not a lot.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1.
Right. But
and he's a young guy.
I'm telling you this right now, and you might disagree. If they get a first-round exit next year in the playoffs, I bet they boot him.
Oh, there was talks of him getting fired last year, remember?
Right.
With that start when they got hammered 30-13 by the Bucs. But then all of a sudden, what happened? They won every game. They won the Super Bowl.
I can't believe, and maybe I'm misreading this, I can't believe they let him keep his best friend, whatever, as the OC throughout the year, and then let him kick the renowned offensive lineman coach out of the door.
Oh, Stout.
Stout. I can't believe they let him do it. Like that's to me crazy. The offensive coordinator they had sucked.
Do you see Kingsbury, speaking of offensive coordinators with the Rams now?
Yeah, I think that's great for him.
Of course, being with McVay. Kingsbury, McVay.
Yeah.
Offensive line's going at it.
That offense is going to be crazy next year with those plays they got called.
Oh.
Those two geniuses just boom.
And Puka catches everything, man.
Puka, who else is out there for them?
Well, Devontae Adams.
Well, will he be back? I don't know.
At his
Williams?
age, though, Devontae Adams is getting up there, too. So, but he was extremely effective. But the one thing about the Rams, and I'll say this, in the draft, they take chances of wide receivers. They don't just grab one.
Well,
They
Puka
get
was
multiple.
a 7th rounder.
He's a 5th rounder. He's the
rounder.
fifth-round selection they had. Not just a 5th rounder. He's their 4th fifth-round selection.
But as you say,
you throw more darts and see what happens.
It wasn't their first choice.
Because if you just threw one dart at players, you'd never have a Puka. Never have one. But when you throw multiple darts at late-round wide receivers, you get that, or you get a Juwan Jennings that people want from San Francisco in free agency that just so happens to be a 7th-round
So
pick.
you're saying the Chiefs, when they throw darts, they're throwing it at the wrong position because they throw it at running back and not wide receivers.
Well, I'm saying they throw one dart at receivers, and they're good with that. Just like Sky Moore does
right,
it.
but I'm also saying like they take running backs in the late rounds and they don't
Sure.
take wide receivers.
In Jalen Royals, that was their one dart.
And
in a year where they needed a wide receiver, they did.
They did.
Because Rice was going to be suspended, and they knew that.
Rice was going to be suspended. They didn't know the link, but they said, you know
and
what?
they threw one dart at Jalen Royals that couldn't get on the damn field till the end.
Which do you think that's on Royals or is that on coaching?
I think it's on Royals.
I think it's on both.
I think Connor Emery didn't help out as wide receiver coach.
Yeah, the running back. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I think that was clearly a mistake for the Chiefs having Emery.
And they paid for it.
Yeah. Regardless, we're talking about culture with teams and everything. I told you I was going to say something nice about a particular team. We'll do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
And Doug.
Oh, what a horrible call. Hey, ref, open your eyes.
Ref, you're really not going to call that? Come on.
Hey, ref, why don't you customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save money?
I don't think you get what we're doing.
Sure I do. We're all just giving him advice. You guys on sports, me on saving money.
Nope, that's not it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 965. That's code 965 to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door if it isn't ready. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City come out and perform their 14-point tune-up on the garage door and 12-point tune-up on the opener. One price covers 3 garage doors and openers. The work is guaranteed. Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Trusted here since 1927. Call now to schedule your garage door tune-up, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com. ohdkc.com. Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
The Chiefs Off-Season Show, Tuesday, February 10th at 9 a.m. on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Let's get a text, and I'll address that come up in a little bit about the Chiefs in the direction they might be going this year. Text line 913-586-7965 is wondering about Keldrick Falk. Yeah, I like Keldrick Falk a lot, but he's going to go way before the third round. We're talking into the first, into the second, or you might even see Falk earlier. I mean, he's being looked upon as being a guy going a lot earlier than that. But I mentioned there was a team and there was something done with said team. And I actually like this direction, right? Accountability. Can you imagine that? We talked about Sauce, remember? We talked about Sauce.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. I saw this clip.
So Sauce, I love this stuff. It's like the Joe Flacco talking about the quarterbacks right now and everything slotted towards offense and not the defense. Sauce Gardner said something as well. I mean, this was great. Told a story about being late on the first day with Shane Steichen. Now, this is why I might believe that's the right dude. I mean, obviously, when you're 7-1 and you don't make the postseason, you're buying into Daniel Jones being the dude, and you make the trade with 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. But when you have this kind of culture in the NFL, I think it can go a long way. Here's a story from Sauce about being late to the Colts.
Okay, I remember the first day. This is a story I didn't expect to tell this story, but I had messed my calf up.
Right.
And I had to be in the training room for 7 a.m. I get in the training room like 7:02. I'm like 7 a.m., 7:02.
Yeah,
it's just
What's
me
the big deal? You're getting
anyway.
treatment, right.
I walk in, Coach Shane, he's like, "What's up, Sauce?" I'm like, "What's good, Coach?" Boom. Fast forward to the team meeting after that training room session.
Right.
Coach say, "Sauce, you was late to the training room today. Can you tell us why you were late?" In front of the whole team.
Whoa.
Everybody.
Wow.
I was looking, I'm like, oh, so you didn't want to tell me that you was going, okay. But then I'm like, okay, that was his way of showing me how things are there, and I had to get with the program, like, all right, if 7 a.m. training room, it's not just, all right, this is a training room, I can get there a couple minutes late. It's, all right, I had to be there around 6:55.
It's like a meeting or anything,
It's like a meeting,
Yeah.
So, they have it's a very unique process there.
See, I like that part, JT. I was a fan of that with Shane Steichen, what he's doing with the Colts. Now, you got to be careful with this because you can't just call out every single player all the time. You got to be selective when you do it. He was. I mean, here's Sauce Gardner, a guy coming in they gave up 2 first-round picks for, and you're trying to build a culture, trying to build a winning culture. Vrabel did a lot of this in New England. There's a few things that he's done that I really like, GT. Like he shakes everybody's hand when they come off the field. Every player. He shakes their hand coming off the field at the end of games. That's what it is. He waits out there, and he does that. That's stuff about building culture. But I like this. I mean, here's a guy that they gave up 2 first-round picks for. A lot of guys like that would come in somewhere, and they say, well, this team really likes me. Look at that. They gave up 2 first-round picks for me. I'm the stuff, man. Everybody likes me. But when you're called out for being 2 minutes late, don't think it'll happen again, do you? And I could see Andy Reid. Now, don't know if he ever did this, and who knows if he ever did. But there was this modicum of respect the minute he took over in Kansas City. There was a big reason why the culture was the way it is. I get it. He smiles all the time, wears Hawaiian shirts, and eats cheeseburgers. That's funny, right? But there's a discipline side of that dude that worked for the Kansas City Chiefs culture.
Are we sure it was him that was doing the discipline, though? Because
I'm very sure.
Because we could say it was, for the longest time, it could have been just Bieniemy, because we saw that discipline and culture go down the hill last year.
But they didn't want to cross him. I mean, Andy Reid's doghouse was legit. Like, if you got in it, you never came out of it. It was very hard to get out of it.
I get that part, but I'm saying, like, there was no accountability last year at all. That was the biggest problem with this team.
That was missing. And I do believe that EB was a part of that. But I do think that Andy Reid brought that kind of fear factor in, and they'll talk about players talk about that.
Well, I get
I mean,
that,
they
but,
respect him and what he knows in the game.
I guess my
but
question is,
he carries his respect amount with him, too.
Do you think his... I wouldn't say people have lost his respect, but has he lost his touch to get people in the doghouse and he's become too friendly over the years?
Well, sometimes when you're at a place for so long, that starts to wear out. Like Schottenheimer was in Kansas City, the message got stale.
Just like Tomlin.
Tomlin, the message
Harbaugh,
got stale. Even though the message is good, eventually when you keep saying it to the same dudes, it goes stale. And we saw Harbaugh, go through the same thing. Eventually that message goes stale. It works in the beginning, like Shane Steichen. Like, this works. Let's say 10 years from now, this may not work. But if you want to create that culture that we're not going to jack around anymore, we want to win games. Hey, 2 minutes is 2 minutes, JT. You don't want to be late.
And I think it's great that he did it to Sauce, because Sauce was a newcomer.
Yeah.
He was the big shot. Like, hey, listen, you got to understand, this is what you're coming into. This ain't no Jets.
I agree. And it kind of said, it's no Jets. Yeah, that's the thing. Who knows what happens there? I know that Glenn came in and tried to do a lot of things with them. They just tune him out.
I would tune him out.
And that's one thing about, that's why Tony Muser, when he's manager of the Royals, after a spring training game or whatever, he gathered the whole team and chewed them out there on the dirt, in front of the other team. That didn't go over so well. That didn't go over so well, being treated not like a grown-ass man. Like most former players that I've known, that we've had do shows and stuff like this, they'll say, treat us like a grown-ass man. That was not treating him like that. It was treating him like a high school kid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man,
Also,
you're
that
a coach, you got to be a great manager, too. You have to be an extremely good manager.
Think about the Cardinals. Gannon, when he got his hands on that running back for dropping the ball before he got across the goal line. I mean,
that was too much.
That was way too much. And I think that's when he lost the locker room officially. People go, oh, do you think the coach lost the locker room? That moment right there.
That probably, you're right.
You could have seen it. There was the turning point. There was the time that the locker room shut him out. And that's when you could have just kissed his little butt goodbye as the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, it's probably going too far. But again, you have to be a great manager of people. That's what with Vrabel. We can look at his coaching style he won. He's a very good coach. But it's also how he handles people in the locker room. His rules when he came in. The fact that he's willing to talk to anybody and everybody. He knows about them. He'll know their family's names or whatever. He cares. He listens. And shaking hands with players, every one of them when they walk at the field shows a lot. I'm not just talking the stars, not just talking like Drake May or Stephon Diggs, guys like that. No, it's everybody. It's from the long snapper to the third string defensive end. It's everybody. And
the practice
that
squad
goes a
player
long
that's
way.
not going to play. Yeah, he does that. And that's what I think some coaches lack, because you can't fake that.
No.
That is something that you bring as an intangible, and that will bring free agents to you. Whether you have a bad year or not, they'll understand, hey, he's a player's coach, and we want to play for that guy.
Yeah, players' coaches are good in name, but you got to have that discipline side about you. I mentioned Andy Reid's a carefree guy, and he's funny, and and all that, but he's got this fear factor about him as well. He's got this fear factor, this intimidation factor about him as well with players, because you cross him, you're going to be gone. I mean, that's the way he does things. And when guys would do things on social media, like with the Bengals and stuff, when they go back and forth, he put a stop to that quick.
Totally.
Real quick.
Yeah, yeah. I think Vrabel is the same way. The way he taught, I'm not saying that he does it personally to the reporter, but the way he answers to the reporters, like, hey, are you being serious right now?
Yeah, he was asked about must-win game, and he actually gave the...
Exactly. Like, I can tell by his voice that, okay, yeah, I
wonder
want to be
what he'd say about verbal.
Oh, God. Do you even think he saw it? Like, and then someone pointed it out to him.
100%.
I
Because
think
he was probably watching to see if he won the award. Well, he knew it because he gave a speech. But
oh yeah, I think Vrabel is a player's coach. But if you mess up, he's going to make you run laps. He's going to make you run the suicides down the field. I think Vrabel. I can't get over Tennessee letting that man go. I just can't.
But you got to have some form of street cred about you, man. And I get it. The NFL is going with a lot of younger coaches, 29, 35, 36. That's fine and all, but you got to prove yourself in the NFL. Like Ben Johnson proved himself, as a good offensive coordinator. Right. He knows what he's doing. But you got to have something of proof for players to buy into, what you're doing. Because you can say all the right things, but you got to prove it. You got to actually go out and do it for them to buy into you. But I remember when Andy Reid got here, was the first thing they said. They had the respect already from him from Philadelphia. Like they knew what he did. They knew he went to the Super Bowl. They knew that he was always good. Knew that he went to 5 NFC title games.
Yeah, that's like I don't know if you ever saw this clip. It came around when Monken was hired as the head coach for the Browns, and Emmanuel Acho has a podcast or whatever, and he made the comment, "Why would Shedeur Sanders listen to Monken because he's never been a head coach?" I'm like, well, why would Monken listen to Shedeur Sanders when he hasn't played a full season in the NFL? They both haven't proved anything. So what's your point to this nonsense of, he shouldn't listen to the head coach because he's never been a head coach? Do you realize that all the head coaches in the NFL at one point had never been a head coach in the NFL before? It made no sense. Like, I get it. Okay, well, Monken is a little bit older and has never been a head coach before. But Monken also was the offensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson, and he got that offense to roll. So I think Monken is a weird hire by the Browns, but I think it was a good hire because you needed an offensive-minded head coach that had been with a quarterback before, with all the young quarterbacks in your roster and locker room.
But you got to show you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that trustworthiness of the players. You know what you're doing.
Do you think that's what happened with Mike McDaniels? No one trusted him?
Yeah, he came in right away. They were making the playoffs and doing things. Then they fell down. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of lack of belief in him.
Just like I thought there was a lack of belief in Atlanta, and that's why they had to move on from their head coach as well.
Yeah, it's like Andy Reid, like he has something that nobody else does, and they can't question him. He came into the season, right? 46% of the years he was a head coach, he's been a head coach. Coming into this year is 26 years he'd been a head coach. He's now 27 after this year. But he goes into this year having made 5 NFC title games to Philly, 7 with Kansas City, that's 12. So Andy Reid had gone to 46% of the years he's coached, he was either in the AFC or NFC title game. I mean, it's like a coin flip, man. He's the only one that can say that. That's even more than Belichick. Because he coached this year, down like 44%. So 44% of the seasons he's been a head coach, he's been in the AFC or NFC title game. Folks, that's insanity. That's called winning. When you can sit there and say, hey, go find me another head coach that got 44% of the seasons he's been a head coach being in the AFC or NFC title game. And I'm not talking 2-year wonders. I'm talking coach in the National Football League for 25 years or more and still carry a 44% average going to AFC, NFC title game. You drop the mic at that point if you're Andy Reid because you can't do it. There's not anybody out there. Belichick had a higher Super Bowl percentage than Andy Reid, but Reid's gone through 6 of them now. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Belichick, I think he ended up going to 12 AFC title games as a head coach. Reid at 10 because of Philadelphia bringing over. He was at like 42%, I think was where he was at.
And do you I think Reid has, 3 or 4 more years in him?
Probably. I always thought that having Mahomes kind of rejuvenated him a bit, to be honest with you, because he finally got his guy that could pretty much do every throw that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because I felt like when he coached with Alex Smith, he couldn't do everything he wanted to do.
There was restrictions.
Yeah, he couldn't open up that playbook.
He didn't have the missile. He didn't have the missile.
It couldn't be Bill Walsh, like in his book, sitting at a restaurant drawing a play that Joe Montana could go run. because he would sit there at a restaurant and draw one out on a napkin because he'd think of Joe. Like, I totally see Andy Reid doing that at the barbecue restaurant, drawing a play from Mahomes because he's thinking about it. So you have to prove you can win, and that's one thing he's proven he can do is win. Same thing with GMs. They got to prove that they can do all the things. I know we look just at the draft, but there's trades you make, acquisitions you make, and contracts. And the contract thing is why Dorsey's still not here. I know there's some question because he was a good talent evaluator, but contracts, you got to be good in everything. And drafted at the end of the first round, as I mentioned before, the last 5 years, the Chiefs had the highest retention rate of draft picks still on the roster from the last 5 years on all the teams in the National Football League. And it's minuscule from being number one. It's like 0.2 away from being number one. It's crazy. But the team that's ahead of them hasn't been to the playoffs the last couple of years. He has.
Right.
And he has rings. Big difference. And you have to make moves like Harrison Butker. It was one of his first big moves. I think his top move to this point, we'll see how Simmons works out. But Cairo Santos got hurt. He didn't know what to do. They grab a guy that was behind Graham Gano on the Panthers practice squad named Harrison Butker. Helped him win 3 Super Bowls. Yeah, that was one of his best moves that he ever did as GM.
Oh, totally.
Getting Orlando Brown from a rival when you didn't have a left tackle, when all the tackles in the draft, like Leatherwood and Sam Cosme and Eichenberg and all those guys weren't going to be left tackles, and he got it from a rival. That's what good GMs do. So, yes, the draft, we look at the draft. But the amount of draft picks still on the roster are good. The mid-rounds have been great. Even the last rounds have been great. Noah Williams, heck, I've seen a few redrafts, and has Noah Williams in the first round now. And there was a bunch of people talking about that Tooney pick, the 4th rounder the Chiefs got from the Bears. Well, they used that to trade up from the 4th round to the 3rd round to grab Noah Williams, is what they did for that. But finding a Snead in the 4th, getting a Humphrey in the 2nd, a Trey Smith in the 6th, yeah, all that stuff counts. But when you're constantly drafting at the end of every round or the end of the first round, it makes a difference. Now you're in the top 10. Let's see what you can do. Now it's time. Show that draft stuff. We know you can do the contracts. Know you can do the trades. Know you can do great free agent acquisitions. You're good with the undrafted football players or guys that don't even go to the combine like Mike Dana, and you still draft them, and they turn out to be serviceable players for you. You got to do it all, man. But now we're going to see what he's like in the top 10. I'll address a text about the Kansas City Chiefs I got next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
40,000 people. That's not a crowd. It's a small city. It's also the number of people choosing pain relief without surgery. 40,000 people who said, stop, before you replace my knee or my hip. Before I put my life on hold, there has to be another way. And they found it at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular level treatments that revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought surgery was the only answer are getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics advanced regenerative treatments. Surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics uses safe, natural treatments to activate your body's healing power with zero downtime. Get started now to ease inflammation and slow the progression of osteoarthritis. Call them today because 40,000 people can't be wrong. Before you say yes to surgery, do your research and call my friends at QC Kinetics. The consultation's free. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, and we've partnered with Cupid to bring you the best Valentine's Day gifts, even if you forgot. We won't tell. From heart necklaces with sparkling diamonds to stylish gold hoops, every piece is made with love. Plus, there's still time to propose. We make it easy to create their dream engagement ring. We have meaningful gifts for every budget. It'll look like you've been planning this for months. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Football's biggest game is right around the corner, and you can get in on all of the action with Underdog right now in Missouri. If you're not on Underdog yet, then you're in luck, because new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And I love playing on Underdog because it's easy. Just head to the app, make entries on if a player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. And if you get them right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Plus, there's new promos dropping every day in the app. So if you like making entries and winning money, then Underdog is the place to be for the big game. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code BOB to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over in present Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/websites. Play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Stay warm and worry-free with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Get a new furnace absolutely free with the purchase of select HVAC systems. The pros at Hamilton make upgrading easy with flexible financing, expert installation, and energy-efficient options that can help lower your monthly energy bills. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and coming up on Tuesday, February 10th, everyone from the station will be hosting the Chiefs Off-Season Show, starting at 9 a.m. Bob, Dusty, Cody, C-Dot, and myself will all be in studio and on camera for 2 hours talking about what went wrong in 2025, the Chiefs' biggest needs in free agency, and who should they be targeting in the upcoming NFL Draft. The Chiefs Off-Season Show, starting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, February 10th, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
And welcome back. Jay Binkley, JT Noah. We'll say this, JT. I received the text. Somebody talking about defense. Again, defense. And I've always said that, yeah, that's fine. You do need defense to win. But I think there's one misnomer a little bit about the Super Bowl, and everybody thinks just about the defenses, because I know that Seattle's number one scoring defense in the NFL. I think they're sixth in total defense, number one in defense. But let's not get crazy. These teams have good offenses too, and I know the Patriots haven't shown it during the postseason. But let's be honest with ourselves about something. Do you know where the Patriots rank in the NFL in points per game, JT?
I think if I remember, you told me the top 5.
Number 2.
Ooh.
Number 2. New England Patriots are the second highest scoring team in the National Football League at almost 29 points a game, 28.8. The Rams led the way at 30.5. Now, the Seahawks. Again, defense does everything. What about their offense? Seattle Seahawks offense averaged 28.4, number 3 in the NFL. So the number 2 and the number 3 highest scoring teams in the National Football League are in the Super Bowl. And consequently, they're both in the top 4 in scoring defense too. I mean, they're just good all-around football teams. So it's not like one-sided, like Seattle and New England just all one-sided. Now you have a quarterback in New England that damn near won MVP, one vote shot of winning an MVP. You got to have a good offense and defense, and they're good at both. Now, statistically, the Chiefs' defense was better in pretty much every category than the Chiefs' offense. Again, do you really want to waste the talent of Mahomes? Do you really want to look back and think about the defensive lineman you got instead of a wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes? Because when he's gone, he's gone. You got that elite quarterback now, but when he's gone, he is gone. But a lot of people don't realize how good the Seahawks are on offense. You know, defensively, they got to Matt Stafford once, one sack. But JSN, the receiver, had 10 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. He was unguardable. Couldn't guard him. It wasn't about getting to the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC title game. No, it was about their offense. It was about Sam Darnold. It was about scoring. I mean, they have a 1,000-yard running back in Kenneth Walker. Turn around, hand the ball off to him, throw it to JSN. I mean, Charbonnet had over 700 yards rushing this year, got hurt there towards the end. So he had a 1,000-yard rusher and a rusher over 700 yards. Yeah, Seattle's just not about their defense. They can score points as well. And yes, defenses, when you hear defenses win championships, yes, they can. But great offenses can win championships as well. And we've seen that plenty of times in the National Football League, including in Kansas City, as far as offenses winning the way. Now, you need to strive to be good at both, which to New England's credit and Seattle's credit, they're top 4 in both offense and defense, at least in scoring offense or defense, the only stat that really matters. But you've got to prove that you can be both. And James Pierce led all rookies this year in sacks with 10.5. So drafting somebody in the top 10, you would hope if you get the right edge, because again, it was James Pierce, defensive rookie of the year, had 10.5 sacks. Okay, well, if you draft a rookie, what are they going to have? 6 sacks, 7 sacks, 8 sacks. Or are you going to get a receiver that gets over 1,000 yards? Because you can do both. And again, Seattle, New England get a lot of credit for their defenses, but their offenses are no slouches either. Now, I know that they only scored 10 there in that Denver game, but that second half was ridiculous. Nobody could move the ball in that blizzard.
That blizzard that was wild. But I would say...
Now, the funny thing is, like I said, Seattle's number 1. New England's number 4 in scoring defense. The Chiefs. Everybody's saying, oh, you got to get defense, because the offense is fine. Chiefs' defense was 6th in the NFL in scoring defense.
That's crazy.
6th. Number 1 in 4th down conversion percentage defensively as well. Yeah, granted, they got a bunch of free agents. But you've got to find receivers to put the ball in the end zone, man. You got to keep Mahomes happy. Now, you've bulked up the last couple of years on defense, offensive line with Kingsley, Suamatia, you drafted to be your left tackle. That didn't work out. He's now your guard. Hopefully that works out. He had a good year. So hopefully that works out. Hopefully Josh Simmons works out at left tackle. We don't know. Still incomplete for year 1. Played 8 of the 17 games. Need more than that. And I get it, injuries are a big part of that. That's understandable. I get it, but doesn't matter. You still got to play. Adalberto Mondesi was one of the best baseball players I've ever seen. He just didn't play. But availability is big.
Availability is the hugest thing. Because what, if you're not available, then what are we doing with you? Like, you just sitting there on our roster to take up a spot? Come on.
No. Also, Bink, know that Andy Reid history. Okay, let's talk about this 913. Since you're going to call me out, I'm going to call you out. Let's turn your radio up. Bink doesn't know his Andy Reid history. Andy Reid doesn't play rookie receivers, okay? Rashee Rice, his rookie year. Turn your radio up. He finished 2nd in the National Football League amongst rookie receivers in yards and catches. And he was a rookie. Andy Reid doesn't play rookies, does he? Oh, maybe he does. Maybe you don't know your history. But yes, track record-wise, it comes around slower. But I think he's knowing the NFL's different now, and you throw to the wide receivers a lot more. They have to. And Rashee Rice, listen, without the suspensions or injuries, that's a 1,000-yard receiver. He would be. But you're right. I mean, if you want to say the availability's not been there, you're 100% right. He hadn't put a full season together. So, yes, you're 100% right if you say that. But that's what I say they need. Because, again, I'll go back to it. St. Joe Chiefs are different than the regular season Chiefs you see at One Arrowhead Drive. They're just different. You get long touchdown throws and everything in St. Joe, and Hollywood Brown's doing his deal. Xavier Worthy getting behind the secondary where defensive backs can't stack against them. You're getting that, getting Rashee Rice, you get all this. Then the regular season happens, and you got suspensions, you got injuries, and then all of a sudden you're throwing to Tyquan Thornton. That sucks. And the fact that your 35 and 36-year-old tight end the last 2 years has led this team in yards, that should be a warning sign, man. This team hasn't sniffed a 1,000-yard rusher. This team hasn't sniffed a 1,000-yard receiver the last couple of years. But when your 35 and 36-year-old tight end leads this team in yards the last 2 years, that's a problem. And not only that, Kelsey's led this team the last decade. It's either been him or Tyreek Hill. And even those years where Tyreek Hill had like monster seasons, Kelsey chime in with like 1,300 yards. They'd have two receiving options over 1,000 yards. They've got to get somebody different to catch the football. Because here's the deal. Don't want to hear it. Like week 4, week 5, week 6. I told my friends too, I said, if you're just wanting defense, hold that energy. Because I get your text all year. In week 4, week 5, you say, oh, they have nobody score a touchdown. They can't beat man coverage. They always drop the football. Okay, well, you wanted an edge rusher. You didn't want a receiver. Who'd you want to catch it? The Magic Man? Who was going to catch the football for Mahomes? They going to create a receiver in the lab? You definitely don't want to go pay one. You draft one. You keep throwing darts and you draft one. But yes, I hope with the new addition of a new wide receiver coach, they will use rookie wide receivers more. I would like to see them use rookie wide receivers more. I think the NFL's changing. You get as much as you can out of receivers. If they're first rounders, you have that fifth-year option. If they're not, you only got them for 4 years. So you might as well use them early, take that red shirt off, and let them go because the price of receivers is going up. The cost of doing business is going way up from when Andy Reid first started coaching as far as wide receivers and their value on the open market. So hopefully it changed. Rice played a lot as a rookie. He was only behind Puka Nacua as a rookie wide receiver. That was it. That was the list. That was the only guy that had more yards and catches than Rashee Rice was Puka Nacua, his rookie year. So if you have a receiver that's a rookie that finishes second in the NFL in those categories, I'll take that every time. I'll take that every single time. Regardless, I'll get back to your text and more, 913-586-7965.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Never lets up.
Cash flow, tariffs, payroll, taxes. Every day starts with a full plate.
So you got ahead of it.
Had to. That's why I checked out Linseek.
How was the process?
It was simple. Linseek's AI platform showed me real funding options. Fast, clear, and no games.
Any upfront costs?
None. Zero out of pocket. No prepayment penalties either. Up to $5 million, with funding in as fast as 24 hours.
Start ready, stay ready. Lenseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
And welcome back. Another text. Andy Reid would draft a receiver. He wouldn't see the field as a rookie. I just think things are changing now. He's not going to be coaching forever, and he knows that. He's got to win this year. He needs to win this year. You go back-to-back, not make the playoffs, I'm sorry, the NFL is about not for long, despite that great history of that 46% in the AFC and NFC title game. That goes by the wayside when you don't make the postseason for 2 straight seasons. But, yeah, rookies are going to have to play because the receiver market is ridiculous. When Alex Pierce is going to command like at least $25 million on the open market, receivers are getting paid too much. And that's a problem. Now, Rashee Rice, he had to play him, Xavier Worthy is a rookie. He had to play him. Now, the numbers aren't staggering, but Xavier Worthy, his rookie year, had 59 catches for 638 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, albeit just not mind-blowing stats, but none of it was. Because they weren't getting time to throw. They didn't have, but he had to step up and be the number one guy. And so, yeah, a rookie had to step up and be the number one guy, and he wasn't ready for it at the beginning. Remember his placement on the sideline? He'd be stepping out of bounds instead of 2 feet in. He had to work on that, and he got better and better as the year progressed. And he got real good in the postseason. Did have, 100 yards in the Super Bowl. Not that it mattered. It was garbage time, but still he did it. But he had to step up and be the number one receiver throughout that season. Because when you lose Hollywood Brown, when they lost Rashee Rice, it was like, step up, young man. You're now the guy. You're now the guy for 59 catches. So I get it. With some players, they haven't exactly done it. Now, keep in mind, Xavier Worthy was in the first round guy. He's picked 28. You get a guy in the top 10, that's exponentially different than picking somebody 28th or picking somebody in the second round like Rashee Rice, that I did mention, finished number 2 of all rookies in yards and catches. So, yeah, if they drafted somebody in the top 9, I know the track record. You haven't seen a ton of rookie success with Andy Reid. I get that. I get that sentiment. But I also don't see Andy Reid as a guy going to be coaching for another decade. It's not going to happen. You got to win, and you got to win now. The price of receivers has definitely and should change your way of thinking, that all of a sudden you got to pay these guys now a lot more than you used to. The market's a lot better. You got to play them now. You might as well get them 5 years if they have a 5th-year option. You get them 4 years if they don't, if they weren't first round. Got to play them quick. Got to play them early. Because a lot of GMs realize that you got to draft receivers and play them because the market dictates you can't afford to give second contracts to a lot of receivers. And a lot of teams don't. They move you. They trade you. They don't want to pay that second contract for receivers. Running backs, a little bit easier. Now, I get it. Pacheco's not going to get his second contract with Kansas City, I don't think. But running backs, if they're elite, second contract, $10.5, $11 million a year. For tight ends is certainly a more reasonable thing than wide receivers. Wide receivers break the bank. Totally breaks the bank. So I just think with the time and place, you didn't make the postseason this year, you need to do it. They bring in a new wide receiver coach. I know they're going to have faith doing that with Chad O'Shea than what they had with Connor Embry. So hopefully I think the sky is better on that part because you got a guy that's been there and he's done it with New England. We'll see what direction that goes. I know with his age, you always want an assistant coach that has those visions. All right, I want to be an offensive coordinator, then a head coach next. You want coaches to want to get advanced through the system, and that's not going to be it. But I just think with the day and age of the NFL and what these contracts go for, and the fact you only have them for 4 years, then you just draft another one. They're going to need to. Because Rashee Rice, if you don't want Rashee Rice for an extended contract, he's done after this year. If you don't want him to extend him. Now, could he be reasonably priced? I say yes, because he's already been banged by the NFL once. If it happens again, it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more of suspension. And Xavier Worthy, you don't have to worry about that for a while because he will have that 5th-year option. But with Rashee Rice, he's already played 3 years in the NFL. He's already eligible for that extension. This is year 4. But do you want another wide receiver in the system to get good? Or if you say, hey, he's not going to play wide receivers if you draft some in the first round, but I just gave you Xavier Worthy, he had 59 catches as a rookie. Can this rookie come in and at least get 59 or something so he's ready to go in year 2? Because that would be imperative, because then Rice or Worthy would be up against this contract. Rice would be done if you don't want to be Rashee Rice back. Then what do you have? Then what are you looking at wide receiver? So, yeah, again, you have an elite quarterback once. Look at the abyss that have been quarterbacks from the Chiefs. I get it. Trent Green had a nice little cup of coffee, looked okay. But seriously, since Dawson and Mahomes, the only quarterbacks to win rings, there was a lot in between there that was nothing. You have somebody now. You have somebody that's won 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls, been to 5 of the last 6, 5 of the last 7 now. 2-time MVP. Just turned 30 years old this year. It's go time, man. It's go time now for the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, when he retires, do you want to sit there and look back and say, well, we drafted this defensive lineman and we got this? No, we got this wide receiver for Mahomes. We gave him some gas for the tank. We Peyton Manning him and gave him Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. We gave him talent to throw the football to. It's your choice. I'm just saying, I feel the need receivers. It's not just one. It's usually throwing 2 darts at receivers so you can get the Jawan Jennings, so you can get a Puka Nacua, so you can get a Torrey Horton, so you can grab somebody in the mid to late rounds and they actually work out for your football team. It only helps them. Coming up next, the Olympics, Super Bowl, the weekend that was to wrap this thing up on Friday night.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
It's the final Football Friday of the year, and as we've been telling you guys all week, it's the last call for football, and FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is first quarter markets, alternate passing, alternate receiving, alternate rush yards. So maybe you think the Patriots are going to get off to a good start and Travion Henderson is going to dominate the first quarter. Maybe you like Cooper Kupp to get the first catch of the game. Make sure that you opt in each day, place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost token. So whether you're locking those early lines, you're riding with your favorite props, or you're taking that final swing before it's all over, remember that FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app and official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60 and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including all token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Jeff Montgomery here for Amoeba Medical. The new year is all about turning the page and feeling your best. Men, if better sleep and fewer bathroom trips are on your list, an enlarged prostate could be the reason. I decided not to carry that problem into another year and contacted Dr. Brown at Amoeba Medical. Their non-surgical treatment was fast, simple, and came with minimal recovery time. And it's covered by insurance. Start the year more comfortable and well-rested. Schedule a visit with Dr. Brown and the team at Amoeba Medical in Kansas City. Amoeba Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game during the big game. They are giving away $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. Watch closely. The home is hidden in Rocket and Redfin's commercial during the big game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. Download or update the app to play Redfin's Great American Home Search, presented by Rocket. No purchase necessary. $50 USDC. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for official rules.
Hola, amigos! BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, covers the biggest sports stories nationwide, live and interactive. From the build-up to the big game in Santa Clara to the road to March in college hoops. As the night's games are getting underway, we're following along for the stories that matter. Tap in! BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, live and interactive, Monday through Friday night starting at 6 Eastern, presented by BetMGM on Westwood One Sports, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
She knows every trick in the book.
And welcome back to After Hours. Jay Bankley, JT Noah. All right, JT. I know it's a replay because it was on earlier today. The opening ceremonies, but the teams are marching in now. I'm looking forward to the late night stuff, man, with the actual events. When we can watch the events taking place live. Because you watch them live, and you watch them later in prime time or whatever. Tarico's going to have a busy weekend. Because he's calling the Super Bowl, with Collinsworth. Then he's going down to the field, right, for prime time or late night. Because it'll be later at night. The game's not going to get over until 9:30 at least. So he'll be down on the field doing that. Then he's hopping a jet and going to Italy. And then Tarico, he's doing he does Sunday Night Football. He's doing the new NBA package on NBC, Sunday Night Basketball. They asked him if he's going to do Sunday Night Baseball as well, because remember NBC has Sunday Night Baseball now? So they're asking him if he's going to do that, and he said he's never called a baseball game.
That's shocking.
He does so many other events, like Kentucky Derby, things like that. So, he said he would. He just hadn't been asked at this point, but the guy calls everything. But that's a hell of a day doing Super Bowl and then doing Olympic coverage that night, bouncing on a private jet to Italy. Man, it's a busy lifestyle, my man, JT. That's Mike Tirico's gotten to that point.
Yeah, I mean, he does good at his job, and so I'm glad he gets the recognition he does, because I think him taking over for Al was the right move. I think he does well with Collinsworth, and I think he does well of not only giving the audience what it's seen, but also telling the story throughout the game. Like that call on that Sunday night game, the Pittsburgh Ravens game, where he was leading up to the kick and talking about how the Ravens went through all this process to find the next big kicker, and then he missed it. It was phenomenal storytelling by Mike Tirico.
Yeah, it's great. So I always thought that Harlan's really good at it. Mitch is great at it, because just describing the weather, the atmosphere, what's going on.
Doing radio
it's hard to
play-by-play
do.
is way different than TV.
It's completely different discipline. That's why Mitch is so good at what he does. I think it's tougher. I think it's much tougher because you're
1000%
you're describing the whole scene, the whole atmosphere. When you're doing radio is much different.
And you have to keep talking nonstop, because you're painting the picture for the audience. While in television, you want to
They can all see what just happened.
You want to pause and not talk through all the audience, because you want to let the audience see what's going on and hear it. With radio, you got to keep talking nonstop.
So looking forward to that. We have the Daytona 500 next weekend. But this weekend, you're going to have the Olympic Games. You're going to have the Super Bowl. And you're going to have the Waste Management Open. I love that golf tournament. That's all. That 16th hole, that party hole that everybody's having a good time. And all the drunks, man. There's people carrying people out of that golf course, that 16th hole. That's where Kelsey
and
hit his
Scotty
shot.
having a horrible day yesterday. Day one was wild.
But do you like the Waste Management?
I just got into golf about a year ago, and the Waste Management's cool. I've seen the hole-in-one where they throw the trash on it. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Did you get into golf watching on TV or just playing?
Watching. I don't play it.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. If you follow, week in and week out what these guys are doing, it's a lot of fun to do. Imagine Travis, though. He's in the Pro-Am. He played 9 holes with Scheffler, number one play in the world, and he's got Brooks Koepka as well. That would not suck playing that 18 holes.
Not at all. I would have a great time.
I don't think that would suck at all. But no, I'll be watching that. And, of course, the Daytona 500 next week. That'll be a ton of fun. But it's a good sports weekend to go out, get your nachos, get your whatever you're going to have, your barbecue, like JT's doing. Got a friend doing burn-ins.
Love it.
And
it's
wings, which that's a good friend, man. That's one you want to keep. That's one you want to keep in your inner circle.
Exactly.
If they can say, hey, I'll bring some burn-ins. And there's not many of you either, right?
Oh, no, there's going to be maybe 6 of us.
Oh, it's even better. Yeah. It's even better. You can have all those things. You can eat those sandwiches, burn-in sandwiches. You used to have burn-ins that night. Those things make good leftovers, man, too. You're going to be in hog heaven.
I'm going to have a phenomenal night. Just going to have a great night.
You going to watch the Olympics till late night?
Probably. Then get up in the morning, do
all
my
day
show.
Of Trico?
Yeah, my Trico, yeah.
I think ESPN was supposed to be doing something where it was like all night doing something, at least 24 hours on all their mixture of channels and I don't know, the streaming wise and everything else that they have, a ton of stuff. I mean, you get to the point, it's ad nauseum, man. Sometimes some of these pregame shows are way too long. I know it didn't matter as much when the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, but man, it is tough to sit there and watch any other team that's not the Kansas City Chiefs bounce around and them talk about them ad nauseum for that many hours. You've seen it all. It's the drinking game time.
Yeah. It's like, can we get over with it now, please? Let's move on.
I just hope we hear more verbal.
I want to hear more verbal, dude.
I hope we hear talk about more verbal.
2025 AP Coach of the Year is Mike Verbal.
There you go. Good job, Mike Verbal. JT, always enjoyed it, my friend. Fun stuff. Look forward to that. Thanks for listening tonight. Enjoy this weekend of sports, man. I'll be back Sunday morning. Talk to you then. But that's Super Bowl Sunday. We get that. The Waste Management Finals, the final day for it. Olympics will be in stride. I mean, there's so many good things. And we get the Combine at the end of the month. Anyway.
Boom, big time.
Have fun, everybody. Good night.